Appreciate you being here every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Appreciate your patience this morning as we got set and ready to go in the studios for another edition of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Here for you, like I said, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, where sports meets that thing called life. You have the opportunity to connect with us on so many different outlets, and when we are live, you can connect with us by heading to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, facebook.com/livenowdt, and on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com. So however you're connecting with the show, you have the opportunity to connect with us all over the world on many different outlets, audio and video-wise. Once the shows go live, you have so many places that you'll be able to catch us on: Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes and Apple Podcasts, MixLR, Player FM, Podbean, Podvine, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, TuneIn, and more. All you have to do is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. So, wherever you are and however you're tuning in, thank you so much for being a part of the show. We have a fantastic broadcast set up for you here this morning, as we will get into our trio of signature segments that we do every single Friday on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, as we bring you the annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by the fantastic team at Carvel DeWitt, led by Jay Cartini, inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin'. We'll get into the annoying moment of the week, and then we'll go from there to lead, learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver. And that acronym proudly presented by the wonderful teams at Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, led by Jimmer Sikowski. And we will be bringing you within that the topic today: when people speak for you. When someone speaks for you and decides, this is what you think, this is what you're saying, this is what you mean, and someone decides to essentially be an unwanted representative of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. So we'll discuss that. The top dog of the week will start off hour number 2, proudly presented by the wonderful team at Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding, and that will be happening around 10 a.m. Eastern Time as we honor someone this week inside of the top dog of the week, proudly presented by the wonderful, wonderful people, that the only place I think you should bring your dog for short and long-term care, and that's Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. And then we'll finish off the show at 10:21 a.m. Eastern Time. We will start the broadcast of our special Bobcat Buzz sit-down conversation with the Bryant Stratton Syracuse Bobcats baseball team. And this baseball team has been on the show numerous times this season, so some of these faces are familiar. Obviously, Head Coach Shawn Peake, going to be familiar to see on here for you, as I am very happy to share the stage with them. You do not want to miss this show. Faith, family, focus, so many good things. And it's a conversation that will move you, will hopefully help you see that there are good people in this world, and that when good people come together, there's a lot of laughter, there's a lot of positive conversation, there's a lot of unique connection, and just a reminder that life really is a beautiful thing. I know it gets hard, and I know people get sad and they get down and you worry, and sometimes you feel like you're the only person out there trying to do the right thing. But then you watch a conversation like the one you're going to watch this morning, airing at 10:21 a.m. Eastern Time, exclusively on Wake Up Call. And I'm telling you right now, folks, this conversation is going to help to open up your minds and help you to see the beauty of what is truly out there. So I cannot wait to share it with you. All I can tell you is do not miss a second of it. I will be featuring Head Coach Shawn Peake, Alex Garcia, Maximo Santos, and Evan Reynolds from the Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse baseball team in their inaugural season, and you do not want to miss a second of it. So with that being said, let's hop right into the annoying moment of the week.
Dan Tortora proudly brings you... Is that for real? Are you kidding me? The annoying moment of the week. I don't know how to respond to this. Presented by Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street. It's what happy tastes like. You have to be That's crazy. I guess so.
The annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by the wonderful team at Carvel DeWitt, coming to you this morning, folks. Let's have some fun with it. So, my annoying moment of the week was figured out on Monday. Now, those of you that watch and listen to the show, you know that I am a single man. Being a single man, I date. When I date, sometimes humanity makes me say, that's interesting. And this time around, on this past Monday, I was out there doing my dating on thing, and I have no idea what I just did. Dating on thing, I have no idea what that is, but I went out there and I said, okay, I'm gonna start, I'm gonna talk to somebody and kind of see where things go and whatnot. And so I went out on this, or not, I didn't go out on the date. It was a conversation. We never talked on the phone, we had never talked on the phone. Still to this day, never talked on the phone, never met each other. You go through the dating app and you start texting. So this is only through text that we had this wackadoo conversation. So here we are talking on the phone. And on Sunday, the conversation was good. On Sunday, the conversation was totally fine, and I thought it was a good conversation. I had a good time. Monday, the conversation took a ginormous turn in the wrong direction. So the conversation starts out with us, just on Monday, we're just talking back and forth, and it was in the morning, and she said something to me about she was like, like that could be taken dirty or whatever. And I also want to take this away here when they say that only men talk dirty and only men talk about certain things. I know that that's not true because I've lived it. So men and women talk dirty. Men and women bring up similar topics. So I want to eradicate the fact that it's only men, because it's not. It's both. Okay? And sometimes it's more women than men that might bring up the conversation in conversation. So she brings up this thing. She makes like a sexual joke, let's say, right? And so I said, well, I'm not like every guy. Please don't compare me to every guy. I'm one of one. And then I sent something else with like laughing emojis. And so she wrote back to me and she's like, well, nobody was talking about you in caps, So, like, I wasn't being specific. I was saying most people. And by the way, if you think, or if this is how you react to things, then this is not going to work out. And I'm telling you right now, like, it seems like you're already affected by things. And I looked down at my phone and I was just like, dude, I was kidding. And so I texted back, I was kidding. And she texted back to me. And she's like, well, it didn't sound like you were kidding because you didn't write. And now this is all through text, folks, mind you. This is all through text. And those of you that know me know how much I love to text. I will text you, like, if you're at work, you got something going on, or I got something going on, like, yeah, I'll text you. But if I can call you, I'm going to call you. Because, I don't know, I do know. I'm whatever you want to call it, old-fashioned. I like to talk to people. I like to actually have a conversation with somebody. So, so we were texting back and forth, and I said, I was just kidding. That's it. Just making a joke. Not a big deal. Thought we could move on from it, right? And you find out in the dating world that some people turn you off so fast that you almost wonder if they do want to date. So she's already mad. She's already amped. And I said, I'm just kidding. And she said, well, how do you know? How do I know that you're kidding? You didn't write LOL. You didn't put an emoji. Normally when people are kidding, they write an emoji or they write LOL or both. You didn't do that. So how am I supposed to know? And this is a grown woman. This is in her 30s woman. You should not be saying the word emoji as a grown person. Okay? You shouldn't be like, smiley face, confused face, yum yum face. It's like, that should not be coming out of your mouth. It's just a weird thing. Emojis, whatever. Do I use them sometimes? Yeah. Do I state what they are? No. So she was like, well, in order for me to know that that it was a joke, you should have done this, and you didn't do that. So now she's questioning me. She doesn't know if I'm joking. This is not even 24 hours into talking to this total stranger. So I said, I don't take life too seriously. I joke a lot. The people that know me know that I'm kidding. And nobody meant for you to think that I wasn't kidding. Just having a little fun. I'm a peaceful person. That's how I am. She sent me back. Now she's a teacher. And some teachers in dating that I've experienced, not all, but some of them continue to teach when they're dating. They teach you as if you're their third grade class. And what I'm essentially saying is some people don't leave their work at work. Some people take it home, right? Some people, I'll never forget on Family Matters when Carl Winslow was talking to his son Eddie, and he said, when are you going to stop being a police officer and be my father? And so he was telling him, like, you know, I need you to be my dad. I need you to not just like look at me as a cop, but look at me as your son. And so that's how I felt in this situation. I felt like she was teaching me. And so she wrote to me, how am I supposed to know you're kidding? LOL. She kept using LOL when she was being serious too. So I thought she was using it in the wrong way, but I thought if I texted that back to her, it was gonna heighten the situation. And everybody knows that I'm all about comedy, especially when someone's acting ridiculous. I feel the need to put comedy in there. So she wrote to me and said, for those of you that are tuning in, this is the annoying moment of the week. I had this set on Monday, thanks to this wonderful lady's insane conversation. So insane that it was outsane. But so she wrote back to me and said, again, how am I supposed to know? I don't know you, LOL. Just so you know, for the future, when you are telling a joke, you know, it's proper for you to do these things. You need to write LOL or you need to do an emoji. That's what I do. So now she's telling me this is what I do, so this is what you have to do. Because what I do is right and what you do is wrong. I know everything, you know nothing type of thing. And she was like, this is what I do. This is how you're supposed to do it. And I was like, again, nobody's thinking that much into this except for you. I don't think like this. I was kidding. I don't know why there's an argument going on right now. We barely know each other. And then she said, okay. And then I just, for giggles, because we were supposed to talk on the phone that day, God forbid, I said, are we talking on the phone today? And she wrote back to me and she's like, I'm just so, like, I went to dinner with my parents. I'm just so drained mentally. And I was like, how does that make any sense? You going to dinner with your parents makes you drained mentally? And, you know, so I was like, whatever. Okay. And then she was like, and then she had written this to me. This was the kicker. So again, being on Match or any one of these apps, this was the kicker. So this is the annoying moment of the week for those of you just tuning in. So I screenshot this and sent this to a couple friends. She said, did you delete our Match conversation or unmatch with me? And I don't feel like I need to answer anybody's questions, and I knew this girl was already questioning me, so I just wrote back, looking at deleting the app, so taking things off. She put, LOL, okay. I'm not sure I believe that, questioning me. If you want to delete the app, then just delete the app, telling me what to do. Why would you delete individual conversations? I don't have to answer that. So I said, because we're talking on the phone now. She said, why are you deleting the app, though? We're not dating. So now she's presumptuous that in less than 24 hours, I'm deleting an app because I'm so confident that I'm going to date this whack job. So then I wrote, I don't like the app, not doing it for anyone specifically, just don't enjoy using them. She wrote back, and I was waiting for this. I don't know if I'm feeling this anymore, to be honest. Mind you, never met, never talked on the phone, just texted. I don't know if I'm feeling this, to be honest. I'm sorry. I wish you luck. Take care. My response? LOL. Did I do it right? So, you know, but that's me. I tell people when people are crazy, choose comedy. You know, keep yourself safe. Like, there's crazy people where it's like, get the heck out of there. But if you can choose comedy in a crazy situation, choose your comedy and have some fun with it. In this situation with this lady, I chose comedy. I did. But yeah, it's my annoying moment of the week because why do people do this? I mean, you think you're going to date successfully when you talk to someone for not even 24 hours and you're texting back and forth, I'm joking around, you're learning my personality, and you yell at me, then you tell me what to do, then you tell me how to do it, then you question me, then you think that you're hot, you know what, and think that you're the only person I'm talking to, and then you tell me I'm not feeling it. Well, honey, I wasn't feeling it when I got yelled at. LOL. So, and then I thought to myself, do I have to have these conversations when I'm talking to Isaac on the phone, when I tell him a joke, do I have to be like, before you laugh, I want you to know I'm kidding. LOL, 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 LMFAO, and all that good stuff. So I find it just very funny how people think that they're doing the right thing, and when they're dating, they talk to people, they literally talk to you like you're a child. So that didn't work out, obviously. And then, to bring a positive to the annoying moment of the week, because I always spin it to the positive side, I was sitting with my buddy, Jay, and I said to him, I was like, I want to watch the rest of Ted Lasso, but there was this girl I was dating, and she had the app, and I got enough apps. The reason why I got the things I got was to delete cable, because cable costs too much. So I was like, I really don't want to pay for Apple TV if I'm only going to watch one show. I'm just going to watch Ted Lasso. So, maybe I'll watch something else, but that's not what I'm getting it for, right? And so his girlfriend called him while we were having lunch, and he goes, you answer the phone. So I started talking to her, and then I told her kind of like what was going on, and she was like, honey, she said, I have Apple TV. Just use my password. She said, now you can watch Ted Lasso and not have to date crazy women. And I said, thank you. And that's what I did. So now, as of last night, I watched 4 new episodes of Ted Lasso, and I'm just about done with season 1. Get it, girl. So I'm very proud of that. And I want to thank the wonderful Kate for that, which is ironic if you know the true story. If you know the whole story about that, it's ironic that her name is Kate. But a very, very sweet lady and a nice person. So Jay, you take care of that girl. But yeah, so I now have Apple TV, and I now watch Ted Lasso for free without having to date crazy people because of good friends. And if Apple TV is listening, I didn't say any of this. There was a glitch. You listened to it wrong. You heard me wrong. Nobody knows that. Yay, 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 yay. LOL. LOL. LMFAO. So, but yeah. So I just want to tell people out there, when you're dating, okay? When you're dating, first and foremost, if you're crazy, we're all going to figure it out, okay? We figure that stuff out. If you're nuts, we'll know. And on the other side of it, don't give people lessons. Don't talk to someone like they're children. Don't do that, okay? It makes you unattractive. It makes you... it's not even it makes you unattractive. It just makes you annoying. You are the annoying moment of the week, because who does that? Who does that to people, right? I'm just telling and you know what? Something inside of me, because I've dated enough and I've seen enough crazy, I know what the loony bin looks like. And so I've been around it long enough to say to myself, when I made that joke of when I was like, don't compare me to anybody else, I'm one of one. And when I said that and I wasn't mad, I thought to myself, maybe you should write LOL or something, because this girl could be nuts, and she could think, this girl could think you're mad. And lo and behold, she did think I was mad, and that created a wonderful opportunity to have an argument over nothing, and to have to see somebody get so mad to the point where she's teaching me, to the point where she doesn't want to talk to me anymore. If it's that easy, if a miscommunication, and this is the thing that I don't understand about people, I've been in arguments with people before where they're fighting with you about what they thought you said, and you're telling them what you actually meant, and they're hooked on what they thought you meant. Yeah, but this is what I thought you meant. Yeah, but this is what I said. But I'm mad at what I thought you meant. Yeah, but I'm telling you what I said. Yeah, but it's like someone's giving you the answer to the test question, and you're still asking, and you're saying, well, I don't understand the question. Well, 1 + 1 is 2. Yeah, but 1 + 1, I was trying to understand the question, and this is what I thought it meant. I thought 1 + 1 meant apples and and peach cobbler. No, it means 1 + 1 is 2. Yeah, but I was thinking about apples. Okay, but it's 1 + 1 is 2. Yeah, but what about, it's like, I'm telling you what it is. Okay? Not everybody is as clear as I am in dating. If you ask me a question, I'm going to tell you an answer. Unless I don't feel like I want to tell you that answer in the sense of like, if you're prying into my personal life, okay? Somebody asks me a question, I'm going to give you a direct answer. And at the same time, I mean, I've told people before, I don't feel like I want to talk to you about that. Like if you ask about, like my family and this and that, like my family, my parents, the privacy of my family, there's certain things that are for you, right? I've had people ask me like, how much money do you make? How do you make money? Who gives you the, and I'm like, wait a minute. I don't ask those questions. You don't get invasive like that. You don't talk to people about the inner workings of this, that, and the other, or it's like, when you were 3 years old and your mom, and it's like, wait a minute. So, yeah, there's invasive questions that you don't have to answer, but 9 times out of 10, you ask me a question, I'm going to answer the question, right? And we're going to discuss things. I'm an open book unless you're asking me things that, are really inappropriate for you to ask. And people should know what those things are, right? The inner work, but still, even in that situation, I'm an open book. What I'm really trying to say is, you don't go out and talk about everything, in your life to the public. I mean, some people do that, but I think you keep that to yourself, when I'll talk about certain things, but, you protect that. Like, you don't go out as like an actress and say, here's the address of my house and this is how you can come steal my stuff. You know what I mean? So like, that's what I'm saying. And, so I just find that dating lately, I mean, these people, they're so quick on the trigger. 5 seconds into knowing you, they're having a great time. They're talking about all kinds of stuff. And then it's like, if you don't like this, I'm out. If you don't do this, I'm out. It's like, it's that quick, and you can't even make a joke anymore. I never thought in my entire life that someone would give me a tutorial in how to use LOL or emojis. But I will tell you, it made that woman one of the most unattractive, undesirable, unwanted things that I have ever had in my entire life. I've been yelled at by 2 women for having an opinion or making a joke in recent history. And I just sit there and look at my phone. One girl was talking to me on the phone about it. And because she questioned something that I believe in God. And I'd found out my friend died that day. I'm never in a mood to have to defend God and defend my faith and tell people why I believe and this is why it's okay and you should be okay with it. I don't feel the need to do that because I don't ask people to make me whatever. I don't sit there and say, you make me like you for who, I mean, that's just ridiculous. So I wasn't in the mood to do it. And I felt like it was another questioning. It was another overthinker. It was another person that was trying to find something wrong with every man she talked to. And quite honest with you, it was debilitating, it was exhausting, and it was ridiculous. I mean, you look at some people and say, do you really want to find love? Because it sounds like you're just trying to find the right cereal in the grocery store. And it's not fun. That's the thing. I'm about having fun. Yeah, life is serious. Yeah, you got to go through things, but you go through things together. Love should not be hard. So, the LOL girl, you're my annoying moment of the week because that was ridiculous. And if you think that's normal, it's not. So, beyond that, I do want to read you something that's what I think love is supposed to be before we get into lead. And this was posted by my guy Russell. So I'm not going to take credit for it. This is posted by Russell, but I thought this was beautiful. I read this last night and it really gave me perspective. Russell said, inside the annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt. What's up, Russell? Shouting you out right now. My mom always said to wait for someone kind. Wait for someone respectful. Not only in the beginning stages of the relationship when things are bright and beautiful, but also when things get hard. Wait for someone who respects your boundaries and does not force you to do things that you're not willing or ready to do. I want to read that again. Wait for someone who respects your boundaries and does not force you to do things that you're not willing or ready to do, because I've had plenty of people do that. Wait for someone who is giving and does not keep count of the good things they do for you. Wait for someone who challenges you mentally, someone who inspires you to be a better person. Wait for someone who takes their time to learn and understand you. Wait for someone who is consistent with their efforts in showing you how much they care about you. Wait for someone who wants to be part of your world and wants you to be part of theirs. Wait for someone who lets you know you're on their mind, someone who checks in on you, someone who wants you to know that they care for you. Wait for someone who is willing to commit to you, someone who is willing to choose you. Wait for someone who makes love feel easy, calm. My point exactly, because I did not feel that way with these two women. Like coming home. Wait for someone sincere, someone who doesn't confuse you because their actions match their words. Wait for someone honest. Wait for someone who does their absolute best to not hurt you, someone who strives to protect your heart. Wait for someone who will choose you over and over and over again. Love is a choice you make every single day. You deserve to find the kind of person who shows up for what you share, someone who believes in it. Wait for someone who's not perfect, but rather real. Perfection is an illusion. Perfect is an illusion, he wrote. Real is where you find something rare and special. Wait for someone who reminds you that love is always meant to be soft. My mom is always right. Enjoy your evening. And that came from Russell. And I just want to shout him out because that was awesome. So, big shout out to Russ for sharing that. And a big shout out to your mom for giving me advice at 37 years old that could not be more true, could not be more right, and is definitely going to be followed by me. So, if you're getting tutorials, if you're getting tutorials in LOL, if you're being told what to do and what to say and how to say it, if someone is constantly trying to find things wrong with you or trying to fit you into a test like the one girl did and asked me my astrology sign and went and checked everything and then sent me the graphic of the analytics of the percentages of it, it's not the right person. Love is not meant to be hard. Life is hard. Love is not meant to be. It's not meant to be hard. It's meant to be worth it. So, love each other up, stay away from the crazies, and find friends that let you use their Apple TV password. We'll take a step aside for a fast break. We'll be back right after this inside of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora here in the Cafe Kubal studios. That has been the Annoying Moment of the Week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt. We will be back momentarily with Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver, focusing on the topic, when people speak for you.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Cafe Kubal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafekubal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Kubal needs. Cafe Kubal, coffee for the soul.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family friendly. Some family friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. Welcome back here inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. Proud to be here with you. And we are inside of our TGIF broadcast, our Friday broadcast, which means our 3 signature segments are coming to you in a row. And thanks to my mom. Mom said love it. And I guess that was in response to what Russell had to say about what his mom taught him. So my mom said a lot of those things to me. So I definitely appreciate that. You know, love is supposed to be soft. I love that. You know, like a pillow when you come home. It's a beautiful thing. The love that was claimed to be in my life was like putting a sheet on a rock. So true though. Joking, but not kidding. So with that being said, we continue in our trio of signature segments, all en route to our very special Bobcat Buzz with the baseball team. You do not want to miss this. If you don't like baseball, if you don't like sports, if you've never heard, whatever it may be, you do not want to miss this conversation. It was one of the conversations of my life that I never wanted to stop. I never wanted to end. It was incredible. Meaningful, fruitful, laughing, smiling, together, faith, happiness, joy, peace, brotherhood. It was, you don't want to miss it. Do not miss a second of it. It's airing at 10:21 because I put it on my birthday time, because that's how much it means to me that I wanted to start it at 10:21. So, lead coming up here next on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver comes to you every Friday around 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We went a little bit longer with the annoying moment of the week today. So now we're here in LEAD, which stands for Learn, Evolve, Ad-lib, and Deliver. Proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. Today's topic, when people speak for you. Now, I have seen this firsthand this week in doing the exclusive that I did. So, did an exclusive with Jesse Edwards. Nobody else had it. I'm sure many people stole it. I'm confident that they do, because they have for many years. Probably took the quotes, didn't give me any credit, pretended like Jesse talked to the sky and they happened to hear him talk to the stars at night, and that no one had the conversation with him. So, when people speak for you, this is an important topic to be had, because it's a real thing. And with Jesse, as an example, people have spoken for him. We did the interview to clarify things, and more people spoke for him. People spoke for me. And you sit here and you say to yourself, what is wrong with people? And the answer is a lot of things. And so, you know, we're here today to have this conversation, and I feel bad for Jesse because, number one, this man has every right to make the decisions he wants to make in his life, and nobody has the right to tell him what to do. That's number one. Number two, he has given so much to this program. So much over such a long period of time. He has the right to do what he wants to do, go where he wants to go, and that's it. And that's reality. I mean, people seem to forget There's a lot of there's colleges around the country where guys stay a year, 2 years. He stayed 4 years. He doesn't, this fifth year is from COVID. People are complaining that he's not staying at Syracuse for a year that didn't even exist if not for a pandemic. It's a bonus year. It's a bonus year. Not everybody's going to get it. You only got it if you were at school during COVID. That's it. Nobody else is going to get it. So God willing, there will never be another pandemic. So we won't have to live through this insanity that we had to live through. But people speaking for this man, it's outrageous. And I thought, well, I told him this. I said, Jesse, people are going to speak for you whether or not. I said, whether or not you speak for yourself, people are going to speak for you. If you stay silent, people will speak for you. If you talk, people will speak for you. People will always say what they think you're saying and what they think you're doing. They will try to interpret you, right? Just like I said in the annoying moment of the week, and lead in the annoying moment of the week have bonded in a way that I never anticipated, but it's a beautiful thing. When we were talking in the annoying moment of the week about how people will focus more on their interpretation of what you said than what you actually said. Some people just want to stay angry. Jesse clarified a bunch of things. People attacked me. Well, you didn't ask him the right questions. I asked him every question. I asked him multiple times about the same thing to make sure that we clarified it. Well, you were leading the witness. No, I wasn't. My dad's a lawyer, and you sound like an idiot. And so, I mean, but you're not leading a witness when you clarify a statement. And the thing is you're not supposed to engage people when people are acting like crazy people. And on the internet, people act like crazy people because they believe that there are no repercussions for their craziness. And you can't respond. I responded because I was defending Jesse. Because he's my friend. Because I care about him. Because he matters to me. Because I'm not just trying to get something from him. I'm not just seeking to write a story about him. I'm not trying to boost up my career by talking to Jesse. I'm talking to Jesse on and off the air. I'm going to be friends with Jesse no matter what. You know, he treats me good. I treat him good. That's it. So it's not about making money off of Jesse like it is for a lot of people, I'm sure. And getting clicks and all that garbajosa. But when people speak for you, and I use Jesse as an example, but it's with anything. How do you speak for somebody? You're not their representative. Now, if somebody says to me, Dan, you're my representative, please speak on my behalf. Okay. I didn't ask anybody on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to be my representative, so back off. And I didn't ask anybody to represent Jesse, and neither did Jesse. You know, we live in a world today where people have all these... Just wish the kid well, man. Wish him well. And I love how everybody's an expert on social media now. Everybody's an expert. They're telling me that they know that Judah's coming back. Do you? And when you're wrong, do you come to me and apologize? No. You just... Is it safe to come out? Did anybody hear what I said? I deleted that tweet. You know, it's funny to me that you don't put any of the work in, but you know all the information. That you don't know the people, but you know all the information. When people speak for you is today's topic and lead, because you have to have the confidence and the courage to speak for yourself. Even when, and listen, like I told Jesse, people are going to speak for you no matter what you do. When you speak for yourself, they're going to speak for you. When you don't speak for yourself, they're going to speak for you. They're going to speak on your behalf no matter what you do. But you should speak for yourself. So no matter what they say, at least the person who it is about has said something. You need to say something. You have to speak up for yourself. People may not believe you. People may not trust you. People may not care. People may not listen. But you have to speak for yourself. You have to speak for yourself. Because a lot of people are going to put out their posts and their ideas and this, that, and the third. But you need to speak for you. And I know that. You got to speak up for yourself. You have to be proud to be who you are. And you have to be willing to speak for yourself. People are going to speak for you in today's world because of social media and because people have social media courage, just like liquid courage, to be complete jackholes. I'm going to tell you this right now. If people acted in reality, if people acted in public the way that they act on social media, I would create a social media jail and I would keep you away from humanity, because none of you deserve to be out in the public that speak the way that you speak. I mean, I put up a video congratulating LSU on winning the national championship, and it became a racial abomination of people fighting with each other. Black, white, brown, blue, purple, orange. People are just lashing out at each other about race. They're picking on this, they're picking on that, they're picking on that woman, they're picking on this one. And I'm looking at this, it's a video saying congratulations to the national champion. And why are we? I don't even read. I don't even read the comments. I have not read the comments on there outside of a couple. I liked a couple of the good ones, and by the good ones, I mean just people being nice, people that say congratulations or whatever. But, you know, it is ridiculous. People that are yelling at Iowa for their team being white and yelling at LSU for having African American. I mean, I'm like, why are you yelling at a team for it's like, it's funny how people say that it's not about race and then they make it about race, and it's just crazy. Just be nice to people. Stop speaking for people. You're speaking for the Iowa coach. You're speaking for the LSU coach. You're speaking for Angel Reese. You're speaking for Caitlin Clark. Stop. Do something with your life of merit. Make something of yourself. Be a positive contributor to society. You're just taking up space right now. Okay? You're a bunch of atoms that are working together for you to be an idiot. Don't do that. Okay? Don't do that. You attack me, I'm going to keep moving. You attack Jesse, Jesse's going to keep moving. You attack LSU and Iowa, they're going to keep moving. But what are you getting out of it? Okay? Somebody hear me yell. I'm yelling. I want to be heard. You're whining. You're obnoxious. And you're speaking for other people. And the funny irony of life is the people that speak for other people are too afraid to speak for themselves. A lot of times, they're too afraid to speak for themselves. And if you have an opinion about everybody, be prepared for people to have an opinion about you. Understand that, folks. If you have an opinion about people, be prepared for people to have an opinion about you. Because 99.9% of the time, people do not want people to talk about them the way that they talk about those people. People do not want to be spoken about the way they speak about others. There's these people on social media that are vile and rude and crass and disgusting and racist and prejudiced and sexist and mean and heartless. They would never want somebody to talk to them that way. They would lose their minds. They would report them to Facebook. Somebody said I'm a duty head. Well, you just said F you, I hope you die. That's a lot worse than duty head. No, it's the same thing, Dan. No, it's not. Wishing upon death and saying duty head, not the same thing. But where have we come in society when people speak for other people? You have no right to speak for somebody. I say all the time, when I am talking about someone else's words and or actions, I say allegedly, if I wasn't in the conversation, allegedly, Aaron Rodgers thought this. Allegedly, this is where he went. I don't know. I wasn't there. I joke about things. But I'm not personally attacking Aaron Rodgers, and I hope people know that. I joke about things, and I would clarify that with Aaron. I don't agree with all the things that he allegedly is doing. I don't agree with the way he's going about it. I don't agree with some of the things he said, but I respect him as a human being, and it is not my right to make decisions. I've never said this is what I said don't be surprised if this happens. Don't be surprised because you see the writing on the wall, in my opinion. You see a person who's not committing to anybody, so it stands to reason that he may screw over the Jets. He may not. I'm making an opinion, and I'm looking at the information, and I'm saying this is what I think. But never once have I said Aaron Rodgers deserves to die, Aaron Rodgers isn't a nice person, Aaron Rodgers is crap. No, I've never said that because it's not fair. And I wouldn't want that Aaron to say that about me. Aaron's making a decision. I don't agree with how he's going about it. I have the right to not agree with how he's going about it, but I don't have the right to speak for him. I've never gone to a podium and said, hey, this is what Aaron Rodgers thinks, this is who he is, I'm going to say it. It's not what we do. And if I've ever done that, I have not meant to. I've never meant to speak for somebody. And I can only tell you my interpretation of it. But that's the thing. People have tried to interpret Jesse Edwards, but they're not interpreting him. They're disrespecting him. It's all about the money. Why do you say that? Because an article was written before my exclusive story came out. Throw that article in the trash and listen to what he says. Throw the article away and listen to what he says. Well, Dan, 5 days ago, somebody wrote an article that he was staying. So was he staying? I don't know. That person might have written that article just to get clickbait. I don't know their motive for writing that article. I cannot speak for them. Maybe they talked to him. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they wrote an article to lie to everybody because they just wanted somebody to click on it. Or maybe they were telling the truth and the guy changed his mind. I don't know because I can't speak for the morals, motives, values, or sources of another human being. That's why when you see anything come from me and it says my sources state, they are my sources. They are not somebody else's sources. They are my sources, my connections, first-hand accounts. I will not write the word I will not write my sources state unless they are mine. So when people say to me, why were you late to the game? I wasn't late to the game. I was fact checking. I would rather be the 8th person to release the story than to be the first person to release it without fact checking. And a lot of times you're going to have people just release stuff because they want you to, and they're not going to retract it if they're wrong. They just want you to click. They just want you to do this. They want you to click, 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 click because their boss is looking at how many people click. Well, I'm my own boss and I don't look at how many people click. I look at telling the truth. And then if a lot of people click on it, great. If a lot of people don't, I don't know what they're clicking on because I told the truth and there's a lot of lies. And I've sat here before and put out a true statement, a true story, a true article, a true video, and less people clicked on it than the one that was about the lies. And I don't understand that, but that happens a lot in society. We speak for each other. We shouldn't. We shouldn't. Okay? Now, I joke about stuff. I might say, hey, for all Italians, this is how we think. And it's a joke. And people also don't know how to do that anymore. But it's a joke. Okay? The worst thing that happened to comedians and people that perform on stage, including myself, who goes out to restaurants and bars and places and performs on a stage, literally on a stage, the worst thing that happened to us during the pandemic was the fact that we couldn't go out. We could not go and see you. We could not be in front of you. The worst thing that happened after is that once we could go out, the last 3 years have been spent with everybody getting politically correct to the point where nothing is funny, nothing is nice, nothing is good, nothing is wholesome, nobody can take a joke. So now comedians thought, hey, I finally get to go back out in public. They go out in public and everybody's triggered. Everybody's worried. Everybody's concerned. Everybody has a group that they're a part of. Everybody has a thing that they support, and you can't talk about it. Stop, okay? Just stop. Stop making life so difficult. When you're butthurt about everything, nobody takes you seriously. It's like the person that yells all the time. If you're a coach who yells every day, all 2 hours of practice, then when you yell, nobody pays attention to you. Because that's what they're used to. They're used to hearing that. They would probably be more stunned if you whispered. See, I'm the type of coach where I would shout out to my team. I would yell out to them to do things productively. Twice I yelled where I was upset. Twice I yelled at them. Didn't swear at them, didn't call them names, but I was like, that's enough. I asked you guys to do something. They all got quiet one time. I'll never forget these kids looking at me. 8 to 11-year-olds. I said, why are you guys quiet all of a sudden? I asked you to be quiet for like the last hour. They said, because, coach, you yelled at us. They said you yell all the time, like you shout all the time, but this time you yelled. We know the difference between when you're loud and you're coaching us and being loud today when you were mad. And now that we heard you this way, we'll never do it again. And guess what? Those kids never did that to me again. They knew the difference between the two. Because when you yell all the time, it loses its value. When you complain about everything, there's people on social media that complain about literally everything. So it loses its value. So now when they complain about something, I just look at it and I go, oh, that's Pete being Pete. I don't even read what Pete says anymore because Pete's being Pete. You know, God forbid this. I've had people write negative comments to me that didn't even do the research. I had somebody say to me, In order for you to, I posted a sandwich and they said, well, why don't you tell us what's in it? The post that he responded to and said that said exactly what was in it and had all the ingredients. And I went, scroll up. I had another person say to me, why didn't you share this story sooner? I shared it the moment it was released. They just didn't bother to check that. So they complained. And instead of saying, I'm sorry, when I responded, then they responded with more negativity. They said, I'm going to find something else wrong with it. So I thought you posted it late. Oh, you didn't post it late? So now I'm going to tell you that I didn't even like the show. Okay. Dude, you would be mad at everything. If someone said, hand me a phone, and you handed them, well, not this phone. I don't want this phone. I want a phone, but I don't want this phone. And then if you say, okay, I would like a lemon lime Gatorade. So you give I want a Gatorade Zero lemon lime Gatorade. Here's a Gatorade Zero lemon lime Gatorade. Well, I don't want that. You handed that to me a minute after I asked for it. I wanted it the minute that I asked for it. You handed it, well, I had to go to the refrigerator. Well, I don't like refrigerators. Refrigerators make me angry. And you handed it to me with your left hand and not your right hand, and now I'm offended. Bro, you lose all your value after that. When you complain about everything, nobody takes you seriously. When you're eternally negative, nobody takes you seriously. When you speak for other people, nobody wants to talk to you. Nobody wants to talk to you. Do you think I'm responding to, I responded to some because I just was like, you know what? I'm defending Jesse and I'm sick of this and I don't like the disrespect. But I look at it now and I'm like, Jesse and I do not have the time to respond to the amount of idiocy that's out there. We don't have the time. I don't have the time. Y'all might have the time, but I don't. I do not have the time to respond to every moron in society that has felt the need to lash out at a kid in his early 20s for making a decision that was best for him. And the irony and the ridiculousness and the craziness of it all is that this is his bonus year. And normally when kids go for grad transfer years and they go somewhere else, normally people leave them alone. But you know what? The people that are yelling at Jesse for leaving, some of those people are the same people that yelled at him in the dome during games and said that he wasn't a good player and he wasn't worthy and he shouldn't be out there. I'm calling y'all out. It sucks when it happens, right? It sucks when people pay attention. And you know what? Jesse knows that too. Jesse knows that too. He knows some of y'all that, you know, and this is the thing too, what people don't get about players and coaches and whatnot. When you love Doug Marrone on Monday and you hate him on Tuesday, Doug does not value your opinion anymore. How are you going to hate him on Tuesday? Right? How many players have come through Syracuse, decided to go to the NBA, and people that love them were like, F you, I hope you die, you're going to fail in college, you shouldn't be leaving, you're not good enough, good riddance, you're garbage, you're going for the money, you're trash. You loved the kid a week ago. You paid for tickets and went to the Final Four to go see Tyler Lydon, and then you wrote smut about him on social media. You think he didn't see it? You think he didn't get it? And why would somebody want to play for you? What if the kid was thinking twice about his decision, and he goes on social media and sees all these fans with giant bunny ears and put on that, all these fans talking trash about him? You think he wants to come back and play for you guys? He couldn't wait to get away from you. I would never want to play for a community that treated me like garbage, that loved me when I was doing something for them and hated me when I wasn't. That's a transactional relationship. And nobody likes those, but people are willing to give them. They're not willing to receive them. Nobody wants to get a transactional relationship, but they're willing to put that, you're willing to give that to someone else, but you don't want to take it. Nobody wants that, but you're willing to give it. Okay? I like Jesse Edwards as long as he plays for my team. Then you don't like Jesse. You're just using Jesse. And it was the same thing. It was the same thing with Malachi Richardson. It was the same thing with Tyler Lydon. It was the same thing with Tyler Ennis. It was the same thing with Deion Waiters. I saw it, guys. And they saw it too. The people that loved them on Monday and hated them on Tuesday. Get over yourself. Seriously. Get over yourself. And stop talking to people the way you don't want to be talked to. And stop speaking for people. Why are you speaking for people? You don't have the right to do that. I have freedom of speech. Yeah, freedom of your speech. Not freedom of theirs. And God always comes on time. And my guy Kevin Green, who played for Syracuse on the football team, he just sent me this while I was talking about this. He said, protect your heart from people who are not happy with themselves. They will never be happy with you. I'm going to read that again. Protect your heart from people who are not happy with themselves. Protect your heart from people who are not happy with themselves. They will never be happy with you. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. I got to protect my heart from the people that are not happy with themselves, all these crazies on social media. So does Jesse. I'm in the public world. People get to comment about my life. Jesse's in the public world. People get to comment about his life. There's this crazy thing about when you chase your dreams, a lot of people who chase their dreams end up in the public eye. Even Mother Teresa, who wasn't trying to be out there in the public eye, she's just trying to do something, right? She wasn't out there like, yeah, maybe she wanted to be out in the public to show people like this is what kindness looks like. This is what, being nice to people looks like. Maybe that's what she wanted to do. I can't speak for her, again, because that's the whole point of today. You can't speak for other people. Aside from that statement, a lot of us that chase our dreams, we end up in the public eye. We do, right? Everything I want to do is in the public eye. I want to screenwrite. I might want to produce, direct. I want to act. I want to do music. I want to do my stand-up comedy more so and really bring it out there. And I'm a sportscaster. And I'm an entertainment broadcaster. And I do a travel show and we do a Disney show. So every dream that I'm chasing puts me in the public eye. It allows you to speak for me. It allows you to comment about my voice, my hair, my goatee, the way that I go about what I go about, my mannerisms, my laughter, my everything, and you think about that. You think about, what if somebody came into the house of these social media fools and said, I don't like the way you laugh. I don't like the way you use your eyebrows. I don't like the way you look at me. I don't like the way you talk. I don't like the way you sit down. I don't like the way you posture. I don't like what you do for a living. I don't like the way you talk to people. I don't like the way that you this. I don't like the way that you that. I don't like that you wear those clothes. These people would be suicidal. They would be suicidal. You wonder why some of these people in Hollywood commit suicide. And then what do you say after they commit suicide? You go, oh, that's just another one. Like their life didn't even matter. Anthony Bourdain dies and you go, well, I got to watch somebody else on the Food Network now. I'm like, dude, what? It's a life. And spend 24 hours feeling bad, for goodness gracious sake. If one of the Kardashians ended their life, people would go, well, that's one less to deal with. It's a human being. I don't like the Kardashian show. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I would never want any of those people to take their life. I would never want them to be depressed, and I never want them to be sad, and I would never want to be the source of their depression or sadness. I joke about things, joking. I wish them no harm. No harm. And you hear people talk about things. Robin Williams died. They're like, yeah, well, he killed himself. He was a little weird. He killed himself. Makes sense. So heartless. What if your mom killed herself? And the whole world was like, typical Betty. She was whatever. And, we're better off without her because she was miserable. And, we all knew she was going to do it. And she's ridiculous. What a wuss. What a wimp. She ran away from life. If somebody said, if you were grieving your mother and somebody said that about your mother, what would you do? You would lose it. Right? You're crying all day. But we say that about people all the time. All the time. People are chasing their dreams. Get out of their way. If you're in my way, I'm just going to move you. I'll go around you, over you, under you, wherever I got to go. You're not standing in my way. All the people that have stood in my way have failed miserably. I didn't wish that failure on them. They chose to stand in my way. And I don't go after people and hurt people and try to discredit and destroy people. I don't do that. That was what they tried to do. They failed. I have God. You have whatever. God's not standing by helping a person who's trying to destroy a person. He's not like, good job, buddy. God is standing by the ones that you're trying to destroy, that are working their tails off, doing the best that they can. So, understand that. Stop speaking for other people. And to the people who are being spoken for, like myself, like Jesse, like Jim Boeheim, if we talk just about this community, Dino, Jim, everybody. People speaking for people. People speaking for Lemoyne. People speaking for me. I'm the only one that had the information on Lemoyne's realignment and reclassification. I was the first one to it. Some kid found it 5-6 months in and called it his own. Gave me no credit. Never issued an apology. Right? People are going to do what they want to do regardless of what the right thing is to do. But what you can control is you doing the right thing. And just like I would tell Jesse or I would tell anybody, the world will speak for you always. You need to speak for yourself. Because I would like to hope that the people that truly have a brain between their ears would say, this is what all these articles said and all these shows said and all these things said, but this is what the person actually said. What a person actually says, that should count more than what people are saying for them. What their words are. That's why I don't edit it. That's why it's uninterrupted. That's why it just is what it is. And if somebody wants a nitpick, I already know where they're going to nitpick. They're going to go back to the YouTube video and they're going to say, Dan, you don't edit it? Well, there was a point where there was a transition. Yeah, that's because the call dropped. His phone died. We turned it back on. We continued the conversation. There was nothing lost in between. So, just stop speaking for people. And understand if you speak for us, we're just going to talk louder. Because the truth always comes out in the wash. And I just want people to stop. Just stop. If your name is not Bob Smith, don't speak for him. My grandmother at 99 years old did not want people to speak for her. She didn't. She wanted to make up her own mind to the best of her ability. Now, she had to work with us, but she did not want people saying, I am Marie, and this is what I think. Because maybe it wasn't. I had people tell me, your grandmother's 99 years old. She's too brittle. She's too frail. You can't bring her out. She doesn't want to go outside anymore. She can't do anything. You can't put her in the car. You can't take her to the movies. You can't take her to dinner. All those days are over. I said, no, they're not. I put her in the car. We went to a movie. We had a phenomenal time. And I still remember it to this day. It was the last time I brought her to the movies. They told me she was too old to play cards. She had to go to bed. Her 100th birthday, we stayed up until 10:30 playing War. I got yelled at by 3 people that night. We played anyways. So, I didn't let anybody speak for her. I said, Grandma, do you want to go to bed? She said, what for? I said, well, everybody's saying you want to go to bed. She's like, I'll go to bed when I want to. Okay. I believe that we're all given a voice. And with everything I've been through recently, I value that now more than ever. We've all been given a voice. Don't let somebody else speak for you. Whether in be it sign language or any language, do not let somebody speak for you. Because God gave you your own unique soul. And that soul has a purpose and it has something to say. People will always speak on your behalf. They will always speak on your behalf. But it's up to you to say, okay, I don't care what they said, and I'm not even listening to it. This is what I say. This is how I feel. If you listen to what the world thinks of you, you'll drive yourself nuts in 5 minutes. If you know what you think of yourself, you'll have peace in the loudest places. And I know that from personal experience. let's jump into the top dog of the week. Shout out to Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay for lead, learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver. Head out to Chick-fil-A Cicero on 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, New York. And head out to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 Route 31 in Liverpool, New York today. And let them know the Wake Up Call sent you. Top dog of the week coming up right now. Top dog of the week, Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. My top dog of the week. Who is it going to be? Who am I going to call my top dog? Well, that's a great question. I appreciate you asking. So, my top dog of the week for this week has got to go to... It's got to go to Christy Martin, my friend Christy Martin. There's a lot of different places I could take it today, but it's got to go to Christy. And I'm saying that it's going to Christy because Christy's been through a lot, you know, and with everything Christy's been through, this is the sad part of life. When somebody's been through hell and you hear it, you think to yourself, okay, this person's gone through more than like a million people together's do of hell. So she should have like a perfect life from the rest on, and nobody should bother her, and it should just be wonderful and sunshine and rainbows. Like, she should have no stress for the rest of her life because of what she had already. She's had enough. And then this week she went through adversity. Unfair, ridiculous adversity. And you know what? She didn't quit. She didn't walk away. She stayed strong. And I appreciate that. And I respect that. You know, Jesse, another top dog of the week, went through people talking on him, saying who he is, saying what he's about, saying that he's money hungry, which, by the way, I've known Jesse for at least 4 years and never known that to be true. So, and yet that's the thing that people say the most, and it's the most ridiculous thing to say. So it really goes and shows you have no idea who these people are, because the thing that you keep beating, the thing you keep banging home on the drum, it doesn't even make any sense. If you were in a situation in college and you didn't know what your future was going to hold in the NBA or anywhere, and you could make money right now, and you could be successful doing it, and you could do it the right way, why would you not do it? And if the school you're at wasn't prepared for what you wanted to do, why would you punish yourself by staying? Okay? When I was looking at colleges, there's a college I really liked for many different reasons, but they didn't have my major. So do I stay there out of guilt because they're really nice to me and they're giving me everything else and it's wonderful and I'm getting tuition money, but they don't have what I would need? Stop getting mad at Jesse. Stop getting mad at whoever. So Jesse's a top dog because that man stood tall. Christy's a top dog because that lady stood tall. I know a lot of top dogs who stand tall. My mom's a top dog of the week. My mom and I lost somebody close to us within the last couple months. It's weighing on my mom right now. But she still gets in the car, goes to work every day, comes and sees her son, laughs with me, asks me about my day, and has a good time. No matter what my mom is feeling and how bad her day is, she always asks other people how their day is going, and she spends time with you. So my mom's a top dog. Right? I give her that. I met a lot of top dogs this week. I've known a lot of top dogs that, this week have done something worth mentioning. If you are out there today chasing what you want to chase, doing what you want to do in a positive and productive way, not seeking to hurt anybody, you're a top dog. In the world we live in today, you don't have to be famous to be talked about. You don't have to be famous to be defamed. You don't have to do anything wrong. You don't even have to leave your house. There are times when I didn't even say a word to somebody and somebody said something about me. I was dating a girl. I was dating a girl. Her best friend hated me, and her best friend didn't like that I was taking up part of her time. So I saw her best friend in the cafeteria in college, and I said hi to her. My girlfriend called me an hour later and said, "Why did you call my best friend a BITC you know what?" I said, "What?" She said, "You called her that. You yelled at her, screamed at her, and she ran out crying." I was like, that's not even close to what happened. but it was my word against her friend. And she believed her friend. So what do you do, right? And it's like what's going on now on social media. It doesn't matter what the truth is. It just matters what people believe. That's insane. Okay? The truth is the truth. But I'm not going to sit here and drive myself nuts and give myself a heart attack and stress myself out and kill my voice and kill my mind and kill my body, kill my heart, kill my spirit because you're stupid, because you're not intelligent, because you're ignorant, because you're naive. And I don't want to say because you're stupid because that's calling a name, but because you're ignorant, because you're illogical, because you're irrational, because you don't listen, because you'd rather have the drama. If you want drama, go watch a movie. If you want drama, watch Real Housewives. Watch General Hospital. Watch Days of Our Lives, Young and the Restless. Watch that. If that's what you want. If you want drama, watch drama. Watch CBS. They got all those drama shows, NCIS and all that cool stuff. Watch Chicago Fire and Chicago PD and Chicago Med on NBC if you like drama. But don't bring drama into the real world, baby. Don't do it. It's not worth it. My top dogs are my fighters. My top dogs are Christy, literally a fighter. And, this woman doesn't deserve to be disrespected. At all. Nobody does. And she's been through more than enough. Treat her right. Right? Treat Jessie right. If all of the logic and all of the rationale that I've given you this entire week about Jesse Edwards doesn't change your mind for the better, then how about this? One thing. It's his life, not yours. You don't have the right to tell him what to do because it's not your life. So if you don't believe anything he said or I said, the brass tacks of it all is you don't get to live his life for him. Period. And you're lying. A lot of you are lying that have put in the situation to have an NIL deal or to test the waters somewhere else or to leave a team and see what another team looks like or to be in a different system or be coached by a different coach. You have the right to do that. If I spent 4 years and got a degree somewhere, I would probably grad transfer to another school. I probably would. Because when am I ever going to get that opportunity again? Never. So, misery loves company. Jesse's not joining you. Christy's not joining you. My mom's not joining you. I'm not joining you. However, if you change your mind and you'd like to sit at the positive table, there's always seats available. Top Dog of the Week, proudly presented by Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. Shouting out all my people that laugh in the face of danger and give their best every day. The ones that try, the ones that have the courage and the confidence to speak for themselves. No matter what people say or what people do, the people that are willing to say, this is the truth, take it or leave it, I am who I am, and I'm proud of who I am. The people that are willing to not be quiet, not be silent, to state their truth, and to the people that they trust to do that. I thank Jesse. I thank Christy. I thank my mom. People that not only speak their truth and are courageous and confident, but they've trusted me to be a part of that journey with them. If you're a good person, you're surrounded by a lot of good people. I don't know good people that attack people on social media. I wouldn't call them good people. God can judge because he's the only judge. My name, Daniel, literally means God is my judge. I don't have the right to judge those people. My name, by definition, means I cannot judge a human being. I don't have the right to. It would behoove you all to pretend like your name's Daniel and stop judging people. We'll take a step aside. We'll be back with a very special Bobcat Buzz that you don't want to miss a second of, featuring the baseball team in their inaugural season. Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there. And of course, you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100. And also find them on myavocollis.com. That's myAVICOLLIS.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Kampground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Kampground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Kampground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9Kampground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and Kampground spelled with a K.com. K9Kampground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Kampground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout central and upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox. This is a special message from 317 at Montgomery restaurant owner Joel Carpenter. Open Tuesday through Saturday for your dining pleasure on 317 Montgomery Street in Syracuse, New York.
We wanted to be a part of the resurgence of Syracuse. We saw a lot of money being put into bringing people back downtown and thought that, we'd like to be a part of that. I love putting together a good dish where people see it first, they fall in love with it, and then it tastes just as good as it looks. We want to provide the best food in Syracuse that we possibly can, and we want you to leave here talking to your family, your friends about what you had to eat first and foremost, but also our service, and to walk out feeling like you're part of our family. I work out in the front of the house a lot, and I love walking to every single table, asking them how everything is, and people looking at me and smiling and saying, this is the most amazing short rib I've ever had. This is the most amazing filet I've ever had. And Donna is great. Sarah's amazing. Thank you for coming over and talking to us. And them just being truly happy for the experience that they've gotten.
317 at Montgomery Restaurant, part of the fabric of downtown Syracuse, located on 317 Montgomery Street in Syracuse, New York. Open Tuesday through Saturday for a unique and memorable dining experience. Welcome here to a very special edition of the Bobcat Buzz, as we are here we call it a roundtable discussion, now we're on a straight table discussion, so we're happy to be here with you for the Bobcats inside of Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse here on James Street in Syracuse, New York. You know that we are the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse for all of their athletics, and to represent the school here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media. I am joined, and I'll go right down the line here, by Evan Reynolds, as well as Maximo Santos, Alex Garcia, and head coach Shawn Peake of the baseball team in their inaugural season. And I like that the baseball is right here with me, because I gave you all my word, if you remember, in the studio, I had you all sign the baseball in the first conversation that we had. That signed baseball with the Bryant Stratton logo sits over my right shoulder every day in the studio, right there with the Bobcat bobblehead. So much appreciation for the connection we've had already, and happy to have you guys back. And Maximo, happy to have you in person, because just had you on the show. So how's everybody doing?
Really good. Good.
Doing well as well.
Yes, absolutely.
So we have a lot to discuss, because we are in this inaugural season, and I know that the last time we talked, it was just about getting, like when we were all together, it was about getting to the season, getting to the games, actually knowing what it feels like. Evan, I'm going to start with you. To get onto the field, put on the jersey, and know that it was a real thing, what was that moment like for you?
It was very surreal for me. This isn't my first rodeo in college. However, with this group of guys, it was super special. It was a feeling that I'll never forget, and I'm definitely going to hold this experience with me for the rest of my life, for sure.
Maximo, for you, when the first game finally happened, what did it feel like?
It was something crazy, you know. First time playing college baseball, and with the guys too, just something that I would never forget.
Alex, you and I spoke about the desire to get onto the field and finally see it happen. You have been through multiple games now to know that it is a real thing and not just an idea anymore, just what that's been like for you.
Super real. I'll never forget going to Boston and getting off the bus with the boys, taking the walk down to the field. It was something that you can never forget, you know, doing the warm-ups, taking BP, something that you can never have again, man. It was a great feeling.
Coach Peake, we've seen many games now.
Yep.
You and I talked about putting the schedule together, trying to find a field, everything that went into more than a year of preparation. Now that we are working through the season and that it's real baseball, how have you experienced it?
It's been pretty amazing, honestly. It's been just cool to watch these guys learn, grow, play their first game, do their first this, do their first that. All of it has been, amazing. These guys, especially, everybody, the whole team's been working ridiculously hard to try to just get better every day. But really, it's been super special just to see these guys get out there and finally do it.
Yeah, and this, to me, it's been an honor and a privilege, because this will only happen one time. There's only going to be one inaugural season, one inaugural roster, an inaugural coach. I mean, everything about what we're doing, win, lose, or draw, this is historic. And do you guys feel the weight of that? Do you feel that in your veins when you're out there?
Yeah or no. I mean, the first couple of games, it definitely was in the back of my mind that, hey, this is the first opportunity to be the first at just about everything in every category. But once I kind of got my jitters out the first 2 or 3 games, it kind of was smooth sailing from there. Like I said previously, I'm not new to the college scene, so This was just kind of like another year for me.
Alex, for you, do you think about at all the fact that win or lose, you are a part of history literally every day this season?
I think about it. It's a good feeling, but at the end of the day, we just want to go out there and win, play some games. Of course we think about we're the first season, the first hit, the first K, the first everything. Of course we think about that, but at the end of the day, I did. It's just we just want to go out there and compete and have fun. We just want to go out there and win, man. So yeah, of course we think about the inaugural season. That's like one of the coolest things about being here. But we just want to win. We want to play hard.
Maximo, like you said, this is the first time playing college ball for you. To have a first time playing college ball while you're making history, what's that been like for you?
I mean, I just want to do the same thing that I do every time. Just enjoy the game, play the game, as hard as I can, just compete and get a W every time.
That first win finally happened. Coach, bring me into it. I know we talked about it a bit, but now that you've had some more time to reflect on it.
Honestly, all 3 of these guys were a huge part of it. Pitcher, catcher, right fielder, made a big play for us. Obviously, 7 innings on the mound and 7 innings behind the plate. A couple hits out of all of them, and hey, it was a special day, just up and down the lineup. I know we talked about it a little bit already, but it was super special just to finally get one in the books after how hard they've been working. About time.
Alex, for you, that first victory, fill in the blank for me, it felt like what?
It felt exhilarating is the good word to say. I remember Max finishing out in the top of the seventh, I believe. I remember we coming down the line up the pitcher's mound, giving each other high fives. I mean, we haven't been able to do that season yet up to that point. So I'll never forget seeing Brian, our shortstop, at the front of the line, giving him a high five and giving him a hug. Like all the conversations that we had in the room, all the conversations that we had in the car, like it just came to fruition finally after all that time.
Evan, Coach had said to me that you were kind of getting everybody together because you've been through, like you said, you played college ball, that you're like, this is what we do, get in the line, do all this stuff. To be the person to say, hey, it's time for us to have that victory lap, so to speak. What was that like?
I had a bunch of mixed emotions, but personally for me, the most notable, it felt like we were finally a family. We started off in the fall, the entire win. I mean, sure, you definitely have to win. You don't have to, but you like to win in certain styles, and there are certain ways to go about it. But the biggest thing is that we got the win, and that was most notable and most important for me.
You said you had mixed emotions. What was mixed?
I was happy. I was sad that, honestly, it took a little longer than expected, but I was happy that it happened. A little confused that guys didn't know necessarily how to go about winning a college baseball game. But other than that, I mean, yeah, that's where like the mixed emotions come from.
I mean, he started to call me out of nowhere. Max, come here.
Yeah. After he won and he struck out the last batter, I kind of saw him and he didn't know where to go and who to say hi to and who to give a high five to.
I was saying,
Right. He was looking up at God like, thank you.
Yeah. So you're like, when you're done talking to God, then this is what we have to do.
Right.
Okay. All right, Max, I want to go to that, though, because a lot of players or coaches, they'll say all thanks to God. Some people mean it, some people don't. Why is faith important to you?
I mean, like I said in the last interview, it just came from my family. Since I was a little baby, you know, I used to go to church a lot and things like that, and I know, it's something that I got in my heart.
I appreciate that. I also realize the fact that I am wearing a nice Bryant Stratton College t-shirt, but I don't have one of these. So
he needs one of these.
Yeah, I need one of those. What else? I need my jersey still.
Yeah.
So, guys, can you make sure you get on Coach about that?
I got you.
So, because I got the Evan Reynolds bracelet, I got the shirt, I got the hat, I got the baseball in the studio, but these are too fresh for me.
Yeah, you need one of these.
Yeah, these are the travel suits for the boys, and yeah, we'll have to see what we can do.
Yeah, he always says we'll see what we can do.
Hey, like I said, we gotta get through the season, then.
I feel you. Now listen, it's all in good fun.
Absolutely.
But to put on the Bobcat paw and to have the Bobcat face on, what does that mean to you guys? Evan, I'll start with you. Just what this means, because when you carry something on your chest, it's got to hold some weight.
For me, it means family. For me, it means all these dudes came out here, dedicated the last couple of months of their lives and the next couple of weeks of their lives to one common goal. And that's why I wear this with pride, and is because all of my guys do the same thing. And it just reminds me that I'm part of something bigger than myself.
Alex, for you, when you're wearing that paw or that face of a Bobcat, what does it mean?
I mean, it means everything, really. I mean, this is my first college experience. I was getting the opportunity to play past high school ball. I mean, it's like carrying anything that you wear. It's important. It means something. It matters. It should mean everything to you, and it means a lot to me. It means almost everything to me. This is something that I will never be able to do again. My first, baseball season in college, I can never get that back. So wearing something like the Bobcat, man, it's important to me. I was given an opportunity, and I appreciate it always.
You said it means almost everything to you. Why is that? That's even more weight on top of what we were talking about. Why is it almost everything?
Because there's a lot of important things in my life, a lot of important things that I cherish to me. My family, my friends, everything. I mean, it means almost everything, but it can't mean everything, because there's other things in life than baseball. There really is. So you gotta live for everything, man.
Max, being a Bobcat, what does that mean?
I mean, this is not just a logo. It's not a simple logo. It's family, We've been working hard together, and we gotta represent that. We gotta just go out there and just show what does that mean for us.
Shawn, this whole team, from beginning to now, Where have they grown? Where have you seen this team develop?
The development's been incredible, honestly. A lot of these guys, their first experience as, freshmen going in, you don't always expect to go play your freshman year, and having all of these guys be freshmen and, not having those growing pains and trying to work through some stuff, the development's been honestly pretty much unreal. Just even in the last few days, the development, since we've been able to get outside more, that has been nothing but from Monday to yesterday was three different days. I'll say that for sure. And these guys have been just getting better every day, just continuing to just listen and learn and just develop, and not just on the field but off the field too, just being good people, the little things that they're doing around campus, all that kind of stuff. But that's really what it's been all about.
And I've seen the videos that you posted of having practices on concrete in a parking lot. What has that done to, you think, make this team gritty or appreciative?
Gritty and appreciative of what we have when we get home, what we have, doing this, doing that. But it definitely, if we can go play we can go do double cuts in a parking lot and learn something and get different information and things that we haven't done, and it doesn't matter where we are. It's in a parking lot, it's in a park, it's in a baseball field, it's in wherever we need to go. We've done all kinds of things. It doesn't matter. You can get better everywhere. You can get better in your bedroom. We talk about it all the time. Mm-hmm. We get better in your bedroom by just doing mirror drills, doing this, doing that, just standing in front of a mirror. You can get better anywhere. You just got to be able to if you put the effort in, you can get better anywhere.
Max, how has Coach made you better?
He just gives you the confidence that we need, and just always like talking to us. On me, he's talking to me like saying, "Oh, you can do a lot of things in your room. You can not just be out there just trying to hang out, just playing video games. Just do something that's gonna make you get better every day."
What about you, Evan? How has Coach had an impact on you already?
So, me personally, I've never actually had a coach before, especially a head coach that was a catcher who played my position. So for me, it's been a blessing. I've learned so many new tricks, tips, little quirky things that will keep me not only mentally locked into the game, but physically locked into the game. He's one of the first people to pick up if like my footwork's off or if I'm doing the little tedious things wrong. So it's been a blessing to have him in my corner, definitely over watching me and seeing what I've been doing.
Yeah, and the uniqueness of that, the parallels.
Yeah.
What about you, Alex? What's Coach done for you?
For me personally, when I came here, my swing was underdeveloped, my body was underdeveloped. A lot of little things that can make you into a better baseball player. My swing wasn't that good. He helped me with my swings becoming a lot better day by day, just trying to improve the swing, staying through the zone. All little things. I had just a couple little things that weren't there. You tweak them, and now you're a better ball player. Same with the body. When we went to work out, just being able to even work out more, getting the strength, something that I definitely could use, something that I improved on, something he helped me with.
So this season has been, like we talked about, so special, so unique, and I know that obviously you want to win every game, but this is the first time this program has existed. It's the first time you guys are together. It's a whole lot of firsts and a whole lot of growing pains. Do you feel in this season, can you feel that you're building toward the future? Can you already see like, hey, what we're doing today is going to pay off later on, Evan?
Yeah, I can definitely say that. When you go to work and you work really hard for something, you might not get the results right away. Yeah. But I know everybody in this room has heard the term, Rome wasn't built in a day. Yeah. That's what we're kind of starting as. We're starting from nothing. We're trying to build Rome, and it's definitely not going to happen overnight. Day by day, practice by practice, pitch by pitch, game by game, we can definitely feel and see that we're building something and we're getting somewhere with it.
It's clear. It's very clear. Yeah. You can definitely tell.
Max, what's been your favorite part of the season so far?
Enjoying everything with the boys.
Coming to my house and cooking plantains.
Wait a minute, you're making plantains for the team and not for me?
Right?
I didn't get that either. I didn't
get it either, Max. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I don't get a jumpsuit. I don't get plantains. Wait a minute. So down in Florida, there's a place called Tu Casa, and we go there, and they like for $8 they will fill up rice, meat, plants, everything in this thing for like $8 that you're eating for like 3 days. But I have friends that hate plantains, so I would eat all of theirs. I started cooking them at home, finally made a good batch of them. I'm proud of it. So is there something special you do with yours?
Nah, I just put love in it.
Okay, you put love in it.
Have you heard of tostones?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what he does specially with plantains. Is he doesn't just cook them and leave them as plantains. He slices them up, he crushes them, and then fries them twice to make them tostones. So
use
they're
the
like
anything with it.
Oh
Do
man.
anything with it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to have dinner at some point soon.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You guys gotta be the next one.
Yeah.
Alex, your favorite part of the season so far?
Our first win, 100%. I mean, that's probably the easiest answer to give, but it's,
Yeah.
truly, it's really just our first win. It's just something I can't forget, man. I think about it a lot. You know, when we're having our downs, I think of the win because that was an up. You know, it's the first year. There's gonna be plenty of ups. There's gonna be plenty of downs, but I can always go back to that first win, all the work that the boys put in, not even just me or coach or the whole team. It was a group effort. We don't win with not everyone doing their part that day. So that first win was huge for me.
Alex, why does this team like each other? I mean, you could be teammates, but it doesn't mean you're friends. So why do you guys like?
That's a good point. Nah, it's because we're family, man. We some of us live off campus, but even the ones who don't live on campus, like Ev, we get together. We hang out. After our first loss in Boston, we went to Evan's place and we looked at the film and we looked at every strike that we took, everything that we needed to do to get better, where we were on the field, the little niche things that we needed to work on. Like, he pointed that out. Like, he pointed everything out so that we could get better, so that we could get our first win. I mean, you're right. Like, that's a good point, but we're definitely all friends and family at the same time, man. We just get together a lot.
Do you feel like, in a way, you're kind of coaching on the field a little bit?
Yeah and no. Yes, in the sense of because I have the experience, because I have been in college before, I can point these guys in the right direction. However, I'm still working on myself day in and day out. I'm nowhere near perfect, so therefore I can't just claim that role because I'm not really all the way there. But I do have some insight for these guys, and yeah, I definitely try my best. But no, I'm not at the coaching aspect. I'm not there yet.
Why do you think that this is, you talk about family, you've mentioned it a couple times, what feels like family?
For starters, I mean, if we go down to the cafeteria, I don't know if you've ever been down there throughout the day, but we're the only team on campus who sits together and actually enjoys meals, sits down and just enjoys each other's company. Everybody, from one end of the table to the other. There's not a single person who isn't there. And I live off campus and don't even have a meal plan, so I'll pay for some food just to sit down with the guys and enjoy a nice conversation and a meal. There isn't a single team on campus who does that.
Max, what does that mean to you, that you guys break bread together?
I mean, everything, because that's gonna get us where we wanna be. So it's just the confidence that we got in each other, the good chemistry that we got is gonna make us, get the first W, as Alex said. So,
Coach, what you hope this team would be like, feel like, and look like compared to what they are? You hear them talk about family, eating together. Have they gone above what you were hoping?
Yeah, way above it. I've even had somebody today tell me that, Coach Alex, he's been here for 11 years. He's like, I walked downstairs in the cafeteria and I've been wanting to get my team to do that for 11 years, and these guys do it every single day.
Yeah.
That's a long time, especially in year one, that they're able to do that right away. It's pretty special to really see these guys, how close they are. I try to make it a point, these guys know that. I sit down there with them once or twice a week. Eat with them as well. I gotta stop eating the pizza though. That's hurting me though. But no, just jokes aside, these guys, it's something that we do. We do it every single day. We eat together. We go to practice together. It's like, all right, I'll eat with you guys, and then I'll see you guys in an hour for practice, and then we're leaving.
Right.
If Fred, even after we gotta get done with this, it's like, all right, boys, let's go. We're going to practice, and we've been together like all day. So it's special to have these guys around.
From playing to coaching, what was it? Is this more of a family than you've experienced? Is it similar to what you experienced?
I've had similar experiences for sure, and that's why I try to make it that way. As much as I possibly could to tell them, guys, if you're more of a brotherhood, if you're more with some of my teammates that I'm still friends with for life, absolutely. These guys I'm hoping are going to be like that for life, and that's where I really see already that I know these guys aren't just going to. Once they leave here, graduate, all that, they're not just going to not talk to each other anymore. That they're going to talk to each other still every single day, like I do with some of my friends. And it's amazing to see that it's happened so quick, honestly.
definitely go to the yard.
Definitely. He said we're definitely going to the yard.
Yeah. Again, Where's my ticket? So, but with that being said, we are going to jump into rapid fire. For those of you that have known my show for many years, it is our opportunity of getting to know each other, asking questions about literally anything. So it could be baseball, it could be anything in the world. We have to answer the questions. We will have the opportunity to go up and down the line here. They'll ask me, I will ask them. Coach, you get to ask me the first question.
All right, let's see. So now we've done a bunch of interviews lately. You know.
Yeah. You said you've been working on this.
I got another one that I'm gonna save.
Okay. All right.
I got one for you, Dan. I got one for you.
You got one for me? Go ahead.
All right. So it's getting warm. Summertime's coming up. What's your favorite summertime activity? Favorite of above all else?
Probably swimming.
Swimming?
Because I feel like I was born in Atlantis. I'll stay in the water all day. So I'd say swimming or playing basketball. It's where I shut my brain off. So I just go out to the court. I don't need anything there. I just need basketball, and I will. And I never leave the court without a made shot. I have to make the last one.
Love that.
And I don't care how hot, cold it is. I played in the. I've literally had sleet hitting me in the face while I was playing outside. So it doesn't matter to me.
I think these guys are all jonesing to play basketball since we can't do it right now, or I don't let them play basketball right now.
Well, when we can, we will. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
That's my word?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We're all in on that.
Okay, so Alex, I'll come back to you for this. I like the question. What is one food that your family makes that you have missed like crazy?
Rice. Rice so bad, I miss rice so bad. Like we serve rice here,
Yeah.
but it's not mommy's rice. It's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not mommy's rice.
What does she do to it? What does she put some? What does she put?
I don't know. I just eat it. I just
Extra love.
Extra love like that. Like I just go down there. You know, I say thank you. I appreciate it. I really can't wait. Like that's definitely rice. Rice is the answer. Like definitely
Okay.
missing that.
All right, Max, what do you got for me?
What's the most thing that you enjoy of your job?
It's building bonds with people. I mean, it's literally, my world is so big and small. Big in the sense of there's so many people I've gotten to connect with by doing what I love. Small that I honestly feel like I can touch the other end of the earth like this because of those connections, because of those relationships. And it's so rewarding. I mean, I'll tell this story, not just because you're here, but you know, I got sick a few months ago, and I got like this weird type of sickness. It was like it attacked my vocal cords, it attacked my throat, my jaw. I'm still going through it, and I was like sinus infection. I didn't feel good. I had like red in my throat. I just felt awful, and I was messaging back and forth with Evan, and he was like, "What do you need? Send me your address." He came to the house in a snowstorm. He blew a tire. He waited over an hour for AAA. That didn't deter him. Drove to my house, dropped off every medicine you could think of, a huge thing of water, and I literally thanked him at the door. I said, "You don't have to do it." And he said, "Yes, I did." I shut the door. I got down on my knees in my kitchen. I looked up at God, and I literally cried. I cried. And I called my parents, and I said, "There's still good people in the world." That's my favorite part of this is like, I want you guys to win. Of course I do. But I love y'all. Like, I want to come to your weddings. I want to meet your kids. I want to, you know, I want you to call me when you're crying. I want you to call me when you can't stop laughing. Like, what people should know about me, and I hope they do, is once you know me, you know me. You need me, you got me. You call me. My number is always on. And people can vouch for that. Within the last couple of days, I had a friend messaging me, basketball player at 1 o'clock in the morning, because he's worried about this and that in his future. And I stayed up until he was okay. So, thank you for the question, Max. My question back to you, Max, is on a different note. I'm going to stay with food. So I'm part Hispanic, part Italian. If you were going to make me a meal, and you could pick any 4 things to put on the plate, what would you put?
I would ask you first, what do you like?
I'm not picky.
Not picky?
Not picky at all.
There's so many things.
Yeah.
So then what's your favorite? Yeah, I was gonna say what's.
I can probably take it to, to the Dominican side. So
Okay.
yeah, probably mango, can make rice. cheese. I can add cheese on it.
Okay.
And salami. You know what salami?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can put some plantain.
Yeah. I mean, that's why the mango is over there.
Yeah, okay, so I got that over there.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Evan, go ahead.
Most notable thing that has happened to you in the last 365 days. It could be in work, in a friendship, it could be getting a new car, it could be achieving something, kind of really anywhere. You can pick where you want to go with it. But the most notable thing that's happened to you in the year of 2022?
I would say there's so many things, and I would say more than anything else, I have learned how to deal with life better. I've learned how to deal with people's negativity. There's a lot of hate in the world.
Right.
And I've learned how to deal with that better to the point where I'll call it out, but I don't need to. And I said to my dad, I was like, I was sticking up for a kid this week, and I said I made a mistake because I wanted to stick up for him, but I engaged. You could say it on the show, but I engaged people on social media. You don't engage people on social media because people that are going to attack a stranger and be mean, they're not going to stop. I mean, I've had 2-3 hour conversations back and forth just to like have logic and common like discourse and positivity, and people were like hell bent on like they want to be mad.
Right.
And so I think I've learned that silence doesn't mean weakness; it means peace. And I've tried to work on my peace a lot more. I could do better, a lot better. And I think work-wise, July 20th, 2022, my company turned 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
And-
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's a big thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, I started, and the crazy thing about this year is in 2023, November 2023, I will be a 20-year broadcaster because I started when I had just turned 18.
Wow. Damn. Wow.
So I can't even, in my brain, like fathom 20 years. And I want to do something really big. I want to have a really big party for it. But the 10 years for my company, they said, hey, if your company makes it a year, that's good. If you make it 3, if you make it 5, it means you're going to survive or you're going to succeed. And I never thought about it like that. I was like, year 1, 2, 3, 4. I was always building. 10 years, and it'll be 11 this year. I can't even, and what I've gotten to do and who I've gotten to meet. I mean, honestly, and I'm a guy who shows my emotion and I care about that, being honest. I could genuinely cry every single day because I feel like my grandparents were all in heaven. I genuinely feel like we talked about it. I feel like every day when I wake up, they're like, they pick me up and they go, I got you, baby.
Yep.
I got you. And I can feel their pride. I can feel when people hurt me, when I don't know if I did a good enough job, did these people listen, what about this? I can feel them like touch my chest and go, you're doing the right thing. Like, I got you. My dad said to me last night, I go, how do I know I'm doing the right thing? He said, you are. And I have the best people. I tell people this all the time. If anybody ever picked a war with me, my army is bigger than the Avengers. You would never even see my face.
Yeah.
That army's too big.
Right.
And I just love good people and conversation. I love seeing people happy. I love that. And I love making people laugh. And I laugh every day of my life. I call some friend, some family member, and I say something ridiculous, and we just have a really good time. So
We've been laughing a lot lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Practice has been that.
Been a good place to be.
It's been fun.
Been a good place to be.
Yeah.
So, all right, Evan. Since you did something so kind for me, what do you consider to be the kindest thing anyone's ever done for you?
Ooh. Wow.
Great question.
That is a great question.
I mean, there's so many
It went
years.
from food to something. Yeah. Now I'm maybe 23 years back in my
I'm thinking to myself, I don't even know what to say.
Right? The nicest thing someone has ever done for me.
Yeah.
I know that.
it's hard to put a finger on one exactly.
Yes.
So I can give you one that's just coming to the forefront of my brain right now. Not to say that this is exactly the number one, but it's definitely up there on my list.
Okay.
I've met a friend in the last 3.5 years. He goes by the name of Terry Daniels. He's a great athlete, great kid, great overall human being. Ironically enough, he went to OCC for a short period of time. He's from Auburn, New York, right around the corner.
Yeah.
We ended up being roommates at my last college, and this kid is one of them type of kids where it could be 3 o'clock in the morning, and he's a professional baseball player, by the way. He could be playing a game the following morning at 10 o'clock, and it's 3 a.m. I know if I call his phone and I really need to talk to him in a time of struggle, in a time of need, he's picking that phone up 10 out of 10 times. And like you said not too long ago, you sat up with that basketball player and you stayed up to make sure he was okay. Same kind of concept. I've called this kid maybe 5-10 times in a time of real crisis where my world feels like it's flipped upside down and shaken to the point where I could be sick. And he's always there for me. Every single step of the way, every single time I need him, that kid is there. So I think I'm not the most notable or most memorable time he's done something like that. I don't have a specific, but I can say that is probably one of the more notable people in my life who do pick me up when I'm down, and shout out to you, brother.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's the connection that we have too. Also, how me and Evan met. I coached Terry at OCC.
Yeah.
And then, that becoming friends, and that was just our connection. Me and Terry also have, we still talk a lot, and we're still close. So it was just like, hey, bring another good person in with another good person, hopefully, and have something special, which we obviously do.
Yeah, I love that. And that's the thing, it's the mutual friend. You just keep bringing people together. What's your question, Coach?
All right, so you've been traveling a lot lately, right?
Yeah.
Here and there, you're
Be
around.
on the road again. So
Right,
yeah.
you'll be on, where are you heading next?
Florida.
You won't go there. That's something new. That's nothing new.
I'm going to ride Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm, God willing, going to ride the ride, and right when I get off the ride, I'm going to go see the new movie. So I'm going to ride it, I'm going to live in the world, and then go see the movie.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay.
So, all right. I'll say since January, where's the coolest place you've been? And since we always talk about food, what's the best place you ate at in that best place you've been?
Okay. So, well, I've never been on a cruise, and I went on a cruise. My parents are awesome, and I'm very close to them. My mom, for my birthday back in October, she got me a cruise. And she, being the mom that she is, she not only got me the cruise, she wrote a poem to tell me that she was getting me the cruise and read through it. And so she's like, you pick the dates and this and that. It's a Disney cruise because I'm a big kid. And so I would say that was really cool because I got to go to Cozumel, Mexico, and I got to go to the Bahamas for the first time ever to Castaway Cay. So that was fun. And the food was on the ship, and I had some good food like overall, but the food on the ship, I love seafood. And every day they had crab legs. And when you're on the ship, like the first day, I remember walking around going, like, where do I pay for this? And my mom was like, it's all inclusive. So I'm getting crab legs. One of the last days, I ate at least 30 shrimp. I think I had mercury poisoning, but it was really good. So, and I also thought it was cool when we got to Mexico that I drink Coke Zero sometimes, and it doesn't say zero sugar. It says sin azúcar. So I thought that was really cool. I took a picture of that. But yeah, I mean, and I got to literally swim with dolphins, and there was 3 things we got to do with them. So they give you a kiss, and then you touch their fins, and then they actually pull you like a jet ski. And so when the one gave me a kiss, she stayed on for a really long time. And I always feel like if you're doing good in your life, nature shows you, and if you're not, then nature does the opposite. And so she was really close to me, and then one of them came and got me and pulled me in, and it was so crazy. And then at the end, the guy goes, all right, everybody can get out of the water, like your experience is over. So my mom gets out, all these people that were on the trip were getting out. One of the dolphins came over to me and laid at my side, and I was just petting him. And he looked at me and he goes, you're a natural. He's like, they like you, and I just was sitting in the water with the dolphin.
That's awesome.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Yeah.
So what's the coolest thing you've ever done, Shawn?
I think this. Honestly, started a college baseball program.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Honestly, I have to say this easily. No, I don't think anything really compares. This is definitely the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, it is a very cool thing. It's a very, very cool thing. Evan, I'll come back to you for the final question between you and I. So we'll go down the line, but what's your last one for me?
Last question for you. Where do you see yourself in 2-3 years from now?
I challenge myself all the time. So I'm sure that I think we're on like 10 to 13 different platforms, probably more. My stand-up comedy has always been in my show. It's always been in my life. I've had people since I was 10 years old that were like, please just get up on stage and talk about your ex-girlfriend. And so I think that I actually said on the show recently this week, I said, our show is like a melting pot of so many different personalities, not inside of me, that's my ex-girlfriend. So like, I did say that. But no, I would say I would say comedy, I really want Sony to, I pray to God that I have the opportunity, and I'll create it any way I can. I want Sony to let me work on a Spider-Man movie because I will blow it out of the water. And I am so serious about it. So serious about it. I mean, Peter Parker got me through stuff, and the story of Miles Morales, both of them. I mean, it's everything, and it means so much to me. And I actually wrote a script in college of if I did the movie. I got to 88 pages, and I gave it to people who had no idea who Spider-Man was, and they're like, God, I wish I could watch this movie. And I was an extra in one of the movies before, and now, to have the opportunity, in The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
That's incredible.
So
That's incredible.
And because Andrew Garfield, because he is in the Marvel Universe now, technically so am I. So, but I would say there's a story I want to write with Andrew, because did you guys see No Way Home?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so in No Way Home, we realized that he's a Spider-Man that's kind of lost his way. And he said, I got bitter, he got rageful, and you kind of believe that he stopped pulling his punches. So to tell the story of a Spider-Man that maybe killed somebody, maybe put someone in the hospital, maybe paralyzed somebody, and then to have the Venom symbiote attack him at a moment of vulnerability, and to allow me to tell the story of his dark days, his black hole, and his redemption, I want that. And give it to me. So I would say that's on my mind.
I love that answer. I love it.
You can use this as the pitch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's no way that Spider-Man would ever be in bad hands again if I did it. We'd be 9 deep with the same Spider-Man right now. We wouldn't be doing all these changeovers. So, in Garfield, I will take care of you. Know that. My final one for you, Evan. I'm going to stick with movies. If you had a movie made about your life, what would you want the movie to be called, and who would play you? What actor?
Honestly, I would name the movie. It's already a name, so I am copywriting this a little bit or stealing something, but not really stealing it. Grown Ups is the name of the movie I would go for myself. And I'd have to pick Adam Sandler all day, every day, 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah. So I went on this kick a few weeks ago where I wanted to watch. I decided to watch Adam Sandler movies, but I watched 3 serious ones. So I watched Sandy Wexler, which, by the way, and this is, people don't believe like God does these little things for you. I believe God finds me, and they're like, Dan, you're that important. I said, I think every kid to God is important. And he'll find you the way he finds you. I'm watching Sandy Wexler. The movie came out a couple of years ago, and here's Jennifer Hudson, who I didn't know was in the movie. She's singing in the studio, and this rapper comes up to her, so I go, it's Mace. And Mace is one of my favorite rappers of all time, and I'm like, this was 2020, and I watched Reign Over Me, which I had no idea that it's about a 9/11 widow.
Right.
That movie got you, and probably one of the best sports movies I've ever seen in my entire life is Hustle.
Okay.
Incredible
Oh, yeah.
movie.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible. But Grown Ups, I love that you picked it. Shows even more so how we have the same brain, Evan and I, a lot.
Yeah.
I keep saying to my friends, we're going to a cabin. But what I don't get is I was the romance, wanted to meet my girl when I was 5 years old in the sandbox, or 4 years old. They're all married, got kids, most of them. I'm the David Spade. And I never thought that would happen. I'm the David Spade who falls asleep in the closet and is like, what happened? So, I was like, so when we go on the trip, I'm going to be the single guy, but that's all right. It's a good answer, though. I like that.
Thank you. Ironically enough, Grown Ups was filmed where I'm from, if you didn't know.
I did
in
not.
Massachusetts, yeah.
What part?
That cabin's in Massachusetts. I don't know exactly where. I want to say a place called Amherst. I could be wrong, though.
If it is, that's really crazy. That's where my aunts live.
Yeah, Massachusetts all day.
Okay, I love it. Max, what's your last question? I love that we got grown-ups in here today. Yes, I always think about that movie.
I would like to, all of you guys answer my question, but it's like, if God is in front of you, what will you say to him?
Okay, go down the line. I'll go last.
I would ask him how my grandmothers are. Just how they're doing. That would be my first question.
Alex?
My first question it might be a little rough to some people, but it's like, why do bad things happen to good people? And I've had this conversation with a lot of people who are like super like more religious than myself. And, they give me answers, but at the end of the day, I'm not always satisfied with those answers. And which, I feel like is rightfully so, because I always think of Kobe, a great guy, a great person. Not even just the athlete part of him. Even though he was a good athlete that people looked up to, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, how he was as a father and as a person, all the things he did for everyone. He just went out in a fortunate way. Same with Roberto Clemente, same with him. So that would be my question to God.
Evan?
I don't know if I would necessarily ask him a question. If I were to ask him a question, it would be along the lines of how is a loved one doing. But if God was in front of me, the first thing I'd probably say is I apologize. Well, I'm sorry. I'd like to, I'd like to be a different human being. Obviously, everyone would, but the older I get, the more mature I become, the more I realize my faults as a younger man. The more it kind of makes me regret some of the decisions and the things that I've made in my lifetime. And now that I am older, I can look back on them times and honestly say, like, I definitely regret some of the things that I did in my lifetime, some of the things I've said, some of the times that I've acted out of line.
That's a great answer.
Oh,
I should have said that.
So yeah, if he was in front of my face, I'd probably just start with I'm sorry.
I would definitely say the same thing, because, he has gave us a lot of things that we haven't asked for.
Right.
And we're just doing, like, things that are not, going his way, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, great answer.
Thank you.
Yeah, all of you. I would say you've been a better friend to me than I've been to you. And it's never been out of a lack of love, but it's been selfish. And so I would say I'm sorry, too. I would say I'm sorry. I'm sorry I ever questioned you. I'm sorry that I didn't always listen. I'm sorry that I thought about myself above you. I'm sorry I put my ego before my spirit. And I would say thank you. I would say you have made me everything I am, and people want to give me credit, but I'm nothing without you. I don't deserve the credit, because I would not have had the courage to start my company. I would not have the knowledge, the wisdom, any of this stuff. None of it would come without a whole lot of love and a whole lot. I tell people all the time, God and I built this business out of thin air. I looked in front of me one day, sitting in a trench with God, and we just took the air and we started to mold it. And it was him and I. And people get really uncomfortable sometimes when I say it was God and I, and that's it. But you know what? I would say to God, I've never not talked about you, but I'm sorry that I let myself get uncomfortable with a world that doesn't want to know you anymore, because being uncomfortable makes me feel sinful. So I'm not going to be that way anymore. I would also take from Ed Sheeran the song Visiting Hours, where he said, I wish that heaven had visiting hours. So you could just go and visit the people that you love and spend some time with them. And he ends the song with saying, I would ask if I could bring them with me. And I know what you'd say, that you'd say no, and it's for the best. So I'm going to live my life making sure that people know who you are. And so, I would tell God, I'm sorry. I love you. You mean everything to me. and I've never stopped talking about you, but I'm sorry that I let this world scare me into a place where I felt like I couldn't be me, because you are the only best friend I've ever had, and you are the only thing in my life that I would die for.
That's a great answer.
So, and I would happily die for God, any day, without question. So Max, that's a beautiful thing. I love being around people that have faith, so that I don't have to ask the question. I love when other people ask the question. It makes me feel like I'm not alone. So I would say to you, if you could take God around the world for a day, where would you want to bring God, and what would you want to show him?
I mean, he knows everything, but
But if he said, take me on a journey that is just you and I, where would you take him? What would you do?
it's a great question.
Gotta teach you how to throw harder.
Just, I don't know. I would like to just go out with him and like just show him like everything that's going on with my family. Like, so I can just like get an answer or just something that I can help my family to just, like all of us like get along. So I think that's what I would do.
Okay, come back to family.
Mm-hmm.
Alex, your question for me?
Oof, it's a tough one. You say the question is just me and him, just us two, or if we went somewhere, would it be like an everyday life? Like if I went to somewhere where it was a bad place and there was just
Whatever you want.
It's your question for him.
Yeah, it's your question for me. You can answer the question, but it's...
question for you. What was your most memorable college experience?
Oh boy, I could go.
And or did you go to college first? I don't know.
I noticed that pause.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Or your best college experience. Doesn't have to be something crazy.
No, it's fine. I realize that I'm a prankster. in a big way. Like I play pranks that drop mics on people. So if someone declares war with me, I have a lot of fun. They're all good pranks. They're not anything dangerous, but they're funny. So so Steve Stahl, love you, buddy. So I'm not gonna tell all the stories, Steve, because I know he's like, oh Jesus, if I tell this story. But so Steve and I, freshman year, Steve, I don't know what it was, but my roommate Pat, he was like, he would hang out with Pat, but he wouldn't hang out with me as much, hang out with Pat. So we had these little cracks under our doors that you could get something under. So I said to Pat, I said, go down and talk to Steve, and I'm gonna put my legs on both sides so he can't see my shadow. And so he says, Steve, can you let me in? He goes, Dan's here. And he's like, no, he's not. And he's like, no, I know that he's here. He's like, I can see a shadow, and I don't know how he could see it. So I said, all right, Steve, I'm going back to the room. I came back, I filled up a glass of water. And he's talking, he's like, he almost opened the door, he's like, I don't believe you, I don't know. And he's like, Pat, I'm gonna let you in, but I think Dan's here. So he got down on the ground, he looked under, and he goes, I can see his feet. And I said to Pat, I was like, keep talking. And as he did it, I got down really low, I got the water, and I threw it, and his words were, I could see the So that was fun, and I do a lot of impressions, so he came back to the room, and I said to Pat, I go, he's gonna declare war. So Pat was sitting on my side, I was sitting on his side, and I'm facing out, and this is my door. And Steve comes in the doorway, and he goes, it's on. And I did my Godfather impression, I leaned back and I said, I was like, you're putting it down in blood, you're putting it down. In real life, you're gonna sketch it like that if you're gonna. And I said to him, I was like, I said, are you writing it in blood? And he said, yeah. And I said, I'm no longer responsible for anything like that. And I wasn't. And so I did something I saw on Saved by the Bell. He had a janitor's closet across from him. I roped his door to the janitor's closet, and he couldn't get out for 2 hours. And it was fantastic, because every time he tried to yell at me, the door would shut, so you could just hear, damn it, go, I swear, and you just keep hearing the slam. Yeah. And then I did it a second time, and the second time was outrageously. He was very bad. And then there were some other things that I will leave off the family show that I did that also involved Steve, but it was kind of his fault. So, yeah, we had a lot of fun, and Steve was probably at the wrong end of a lot of those jokes. But we're still friends, so shout out to Steve. All right, Alex. What is the best prank or joke that anyone's ever played on you?
I think it had to do with my car one time. I think my friends know that I'm very, overprotective of my car. I don't like no drinks, no nothing. I don't like nobody messing with my car. That's like a kid to me. Like I really enjoy my car. And of course, being back home, stupid friends. Of course, I let them have McDonald's in my car one day, and I think one of them, they opened the cap of their drink, and they pretended to spill the drink. Yeah. It didn't actually spill. Yeah. They pretended to spill the drink and all their food, and I slammed the brakes. I turned around. I started cursing at them. I started getting so and I looked, and I don't even know how he did it, because you usually hear like the spill of the ice and falling on the ground, and I heard something just like that, and they played it off so well. And it was nothing, and I cursed at them for nothing, and they looked at me like a different person after that. And they didn't understand my pain, because it's like, you're not going to be the one cleaning it up. I got to take care of my car. So that was probably like, they did it on purpose. It was probably one of the it was a good prank, but I made it very clear, don't ever do that to me. Don't ever do that to me, please.
And some people are interesting about their vehicles.
Yes, I'm one of them, definitely.
Okay. Sean, you got the last question for me.
All right. Let's see.
You said you had one.
So, we talk about making history with this. What's it like being with us making history? You do it every time?
It's one of the greatest moments of my life. I think about it all the time. Like when you guys are practicing in games and whatnot, if I'm not physically there, I'm thinking about it. Like I honestly, to me, I'll just be going through something in a day and I'm like, it's the Bobcats' first baseball season and I get to do this. I get to be a part of this. So, I mean, to me, it's so cool to be there for day zero. Like I love it. I love being here. I love the look of this today. I love everything about today. Honestly, like y'all are getting a hug when we're done. So, but this, it's an honor. I mean, it's a privilege. To me, it's when I look up at my grandfathers and my grandmother's up in heaven, I could just see them kind of go like, like that's our baby. Like that's you fought for moments like this, because so many times in my life, especially in the media, which is such a hard place to find a friend.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I can tell you that when so many people want you to feel like you're not good enough, you don't have enough listeners, you don't have enough viewers, you don't have this, I beat you at this, I'm better at this, or if I do something, they steal it, they lie about it, they bury it. I mean, I've seen so many things that have happened, even this week, with, having an exclusive conversation with somebody and just seeing how people reacted to it. There was so much good, but there always has to be a little bit of evil. And I said something to my dad, and my dad goes, "Why do you care?" He was like, "You told that kid, no matter what he says, people are going to speak for him. Take the advice that you said to this kid. And understand, if you're doing the right thing, you're doing the right thing." But I'm like, I don't need a pat on the back. I just, you would like people to say, okay, you know what? And I'm never going to get an award from the media. Nobody in the media is ever going to reach out to me and say, hey, we appreciate it. And it's coming to terms with that and caring about, and you know what? I do have an ex-wife, and they say take something positive from everything. One of the greatest things, and even though we're not together, she gave me a piece of advice that was incredible, and I say it to myself all the time. I was at a practice for a football team, and I said, I'm sitting here, I texted her, I'm like, I'm sitting here with the media, and everybody's in their cliques, and almost everybody's talking, but nobody's talking to me. Like I have leprosy, like I have a disease. And I'm sitting here, and she goes, let me ask you a question. When the players come off the field, what do? I said, they say hi to me, they smile, they shake my hand. She said, do they do it with anybody else? I go, not really, maybe one person. She said, what do the coaches do? I said, they go, Dan, hey, what up, D? She said, do they do that with other people? I said, not really. She said, the coaches and the players that you talk to have a positive effect on the trajectory of your career. The people that are sitting next to you in the media that have no respect for you, would you ever eat dinner with them? Would you ever lay next to them in a bed? Would you ever take them on a vacation? No. So she said, start focusing on the people that matter and know that every time a player or a coach gives you a hug and treats you like family, that's when all the media people are stabbing you in the back. So you must be doing something right because the coaches and the players will go to bat for you. I said this to somebody last night. I go, if God forbid anything happened to me, at my funeral, there would be coaches and players speaking. And I don't doubt that. And I want to live to be 100 plus. I do. And I hope I get to, by the grace of God. But she just told me, change your perspective. So I'm better at it now, but I have a big heart, and I will never understand how someone can hurt a good person. And I'm not a perfect person, but there's never been a day in 37 years where I wanted to hurt somebody. And I don't understand when people want to cause pain, just because, like, the person that would punch me in the mouth is the same person I would save in an alley. And it's like, you realize that after me, the person that comes behind me might just let you die in that alley. And so I never understand why you hit the person that loves everybody. But God promised one thing in the Bible. He said, if you follow my son, you'll be persecuted on earth. You know, your riches are in heaven, they're not here. So if you're trying to be a good person and you're getting persecuted, as weird as it sounds, you're doing the right thing. And it's hard, but if you say to yourself every day, am I getting nailed to a cross? Are there thorns on my head? Are people spitting on me, whipping me, throwing stones at me, and calling me names? You know, will I ever go through that? No. So if they could hurt perfection, I guess they can hurt imperfection. And if they're hurting imperfection, it says more about them than it says about me. And what I took my whole life was the opposite. I was like, oh, well, if people don't like me, there must be something that I'm doing wrong. I must be a bad guy. I must be suck at my job. And it's no. People's perception of you and the way that they treat you says more about them. It's a hard thing in the middle of the night to remind yourself of, but I got you guys. And nobody's going to beat that. Nobody can. So Peake, you got the final one. I'm going to bring some comedy here.
Oh, yeah.
You got 3 comedians that you can go on vacation with. You're going to take the 4 of us, and we're going to go to the Bahamas with 3 comedians. Who are we taking?
Adam Sandler's got to be up there.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got to be in there.
Okay.
I don't know, who you got, like? That's
right.
If we're all going, it's a team decision here then.
My generation is Kevin Hart.
Yeah,
That's like the guy around my generation. Even though he's a little older, like,
Yes.
and then the older one is Dave Chappelle. And he's on a different level. Like he's on a different level.
I think we can all agree on those.
Yeah, I think we definitely.
Yeah. So that's the bucket list. Of all bucket lists that I have, that's the one that's almost done. I've seen almost every comedian I ever want to see.
Really?
So Kevin Hart, Jim Gaffigan, Brian Regan, Dave Chappelle, Charlie Murphy before he passed away, George Lopez, Jeff Dunham, who has the puppets, Joe Coy.
You see Burt Kreischer?
No, but I know who he is.
Okay.
I just had somebody like say you got to watch him, and then he popped up on my Netflix because they're always listening. So
yeah, they are listening. Yeah.
So, but I do want to give a shout out really quick here, and this is a funny part of it. So I want you guys to take this with you, however you want to take it. As a single man, I went out on 4 dates with a girl. I don't care if she's watching. I went over to her house. She put on Apple TV Plus, and she put on Ted Lasso. And they said, you got to watch it because they're like, you know, you're a funny guy, like you love inspiration, so you're going to love the show. I do love the show. She came over to my house. She had it on the TV. And the next morning I woke up and I went to turn it on. I go, did you log out? And she's like, yeah. And so I was like, what am I supposed to do? And she goes, wait a minute, are you still talking to me because you want to watch Ted Lasso? And I was like, no. And 20 minutes later I said, where the password at? So one of my really good friends, his girlfriend, I told her this story just in passing, and she goes, Dan, I'm going to do you a solid. Stop dating crazy women. She said, you don't have to date crazy women to get Ted Lasso, and she gave me her password. She's like, I'm going to save you time and energy, but I love it so very much, and I'm already taking stuff from it, and the dance that he does for Wichita State, I've already stolen that a little bit.
Mastered it.
Yeah. So for Shawn Peake, Alex Garcia, as well as Maximo Santos, Evan Reynolds, myself, Dan Tortora, this has been a special edition of the Bobcat Buzz, and honestly, guys, I don't know how to end this one because this is genuinely not saying it. This is one of my favorite shows I've ever, not Bobcat Buzz, of anything I've done in almost 20 years. This has been a show that I really don't want to end. So can we do it again?
Yes. Yeah. This is a great one.
Let's clap it up. Come support your Bobcats. Baseball season 1. Folks, it'll never happen again. Show them love. When you see them in your local supermarket, dap them up, give them a hug, tell them you appreciate them. And guys, above everything today, thank you for being honest, open, genuine, talking about God and loving each other. Because what we did today, I can tell you from my heart, if we touched no one else's life, y'all just gave me a whole lot of faith. Absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, dude.
Thank you, sir.
As always.
Coach, appreciate
As
it.
always.
We'll talk with you all soon. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you.
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
Our
corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success in Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also, I think we recognized that, we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was, selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career. It's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York.
Cafe Cabal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafecabal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Cabal needs. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
This is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating. Find them at 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York, open Monday through Saturday in-store and all the time online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, you can order all throughout the country at maandpaspopcorn.com. And remember to get your tins, which have in-store half-price refills forever. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, available to you for fundraising and all of your events by calling 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you? This is a special message from Merritt Brady, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Watertown on 1290 Arsenal Street in Watertown, New York.
Chick-fil-A for me has always been about the people. I think it starts with the strength and leadership of the Cathy family. It's just amazing to see a family-run business reach the altitude that they have. Second mile service is something that we embodied at my previous business, and the ability to make people feel like they're the only person at your establishment, that you are there to serve them that day and looking for those extra ways to make them happy, to anticipate what they need next is what makes me tick. And I'm going to have so many opportunities at Chick-fil-A to do that. It's one of my favorite things to eat in the world. My favorite application question or interview question when I'm interviewing is when I get to, have you ever eaten at Chick-fil-A? And a smile hits both their ears. They can't even answer the question for a second. And when I see that, it's like, man, that's going to be a great hire. They already get it. They already feel it. They already know that we're different. The Chick-fil-A experience, it's a real thing. And then, of course, just our generosity and community involvement and making a positive impact in the lives of our team members, our guests, and the community in general, I think is really the secret sauce.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Cabal studios, hanging out with you where sports truly meets that thing called life. We appreciate you being here every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern time. Proud to be here and spend some more time with you here today, as we typically do, going past 2 hours on our broadcasts more often than we don't.
So, happy to be here with you this morning. Big time thanks inside of Ma and Pa's Popcorn.com's What's Poppin' to the wonderful people at Carvel DeWitt for the annoying moment of the week. The wonderful teams at Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay for lead, learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver. For the fantastic keepers of our pups and our big old dogs, the ones that take care of our furry loving friends at Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. A big time thanks to Lorraine, Chad, and the team at Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding for all that you do to love up all of our wonderful, wonderful people and our wonderful animals. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for being wonderful people that take care of our animals that we love so very much. So a big shout out to them in the Top Dog of the Week. Shout out to Christy, my mom, Jesse, all for being top dogs. And many, many thanks to a conversation that I will keep with me forever. It is in a time capsule. It's one of the most rewarding and blessed and just God-centric, good, chill conversation that you're going to get that I've ever done. So many thanks to Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse for trusting me to be your exclusive multimedia marketing partner. Many thanks to the baseball team for letting me be a part of your inaugural season. Thanks in this episode specifically to Head Coach Shawn Peake, as well as Alex Garcia, Maximo Santos, and Evan Reynolds. And, thanks to everybody over there for, everyone in administration, to Nick Dmitrievsky, to Alex Gregorita, Clay Gagan Sherman, Tay Baker, and so on and so forth. And I appreciate the family at Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse for letting me be a part of that family, for the student athletes, the coaches, and administration, and a tremendous story told by the baseball team today, and so much faith and so much God. And people that know me know that if somebody else mentions God and I get to respond to it, but I don't have to be the one that, sometimes I feel like, I'm the instigator of talking about faith, right? So when I hear somebody else say it, it's just makes me feel like I'm not alone. It makes me feel like this world is brighter. It makes me feel like there's so much goodness, and I'm moved by it. And I was very moved by Max's question of, if God was in front of you right now, what would you say to him? I think it's one of the most beautiful and special questions that I've ever heard, and I'm so grateful to know him and grateful that he has such a strong faith. And a shout out to Maximo's family, and and to Evan and to Alex, and for them to talk about their faith, and for Shawn to talk about his. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to go back and watch this special, which is going to air as its own individual special today as well. So you're going to be able to just click on it and go straight to it here. And, we all talked about God. 5 out of 5 of us were talking about faith and God and what we would say and what we would do. And there's nothing that's better than that. There's nothing than 100% of the table loving God and believing in God and asking God questions and talking about faith and just celebrating the fact that we all came from the same creator and we're not as different as we may think we are. So, beautiful conversation. Thank you guys for that. You'll find us Monday through Friday on YouTube.com, Facebook.com, and MixLR.com, all /WakeUpCallDT, Facebook.com /LiveNowDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.podbean.com, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Once the shows go live, they hop into the archive on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, MixLR, Player FM, Podbean, Podvine, TuneIn, Spotify, Stitcher, and YouTube. You can find us by searching Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. Big thanks to our incredible partners that make up our team: Cafe Kubal, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, PB&J's Lunchbox, Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, Mother's Cupboard, where we have our own exclusive sandwich. I have my own sandwich on the everyday menu 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at Mother's Cupboard, 3709 James Street in Syracuse, New York, a staple of Syracuse, one of the pillars of our community, and the Cuse McMother is exclusively there. It's my spin on the breakfast sandwich, bacon, egg, and cheese inside of French toast as their bread. You can pick it up and eat it like a sandwich, or you can cut it up and eat it with syrup. Both ways are acceptable ways to have an incredible sandwich that has so much flavor. Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, Great Lakes, Honda City, formerly known as Honda City of Liverpool. So Great Lakes, Honda City, same location. Head out there today. It's where I trust to get all my vehicles. Chick-fil-A Watertown, K9 Kampground Dog Boarding, Avicoli's, 317 at Montgomery Street, the exclusive home of Downtown with Dan, where we get to taste test the menu, talk with you about it, show it to you so that you can go in and get it when you know what it's about and what it is and the flavors of it, and you can really get a true feel for it. So we get to do a very food-centric living. I mean, I love to, people that know me know that I love to cook, and 317 at Montgomery Street, the name of the restaurant is the name of the location in downtown Syracuse. And they're just, to me, they're so unique and they're so special, and their food is so wonderful, and the atmosphere is elegant and it's kind and it's welcoming and the service is great, and you just need to go to 317 at Montgomery. There's a reason why Downtown with Dan is only there, and we do that video series exclusively at 317. So watch it every month, and you can go back and watch all the episodes on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Just search Downtown with Dan. Pizza Man, shout out, much love to them as well. We got a great event coming up with them for the draft again. And of course, Wake Up Call is the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Lemoyne College Dolphins. Fins up to everybody out there that's part of the Finn family, part of the extended Finn family, people that will be a part of the Finn family. Much love, much appreciation, and much respect to you all. Sending you all my love. The Lemoyne College Dolphins, they're with us on Wednesdays for Dolphin Time at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. The Dolphins are here with us every first and third Wednesday for AD and DT with Athletics Director Bob Beretta and myself, Dan Tortora, and every second and fourth Wednesday for the Dolphin Dive, diving into the stories of student athletes, coaches, administration, future Dolphins, and alumni. You can check out all of our specials with the Dolphins by going to the Lemoyne tab on wakeupcalldt.com and subscribing to our YouTube channel on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. So much love, much respect, and much appreciation. And for more information, go to LemoyneDolphins.com. Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse are proud exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media. The Bobcat Buzz comes to you every single month, including today, with the stories of the Bobcats, many sports teams, and wonderful student athletes and coaches. All of these great stories. We've gotten to do a ton of firsts. We got to be the exclusive home of the announcement of Clay Gagan Sherman becoming the men's basketball head coach. We did that at Mother's Cupboard. We got to be the exclusive home of the Swan Song thank you and for everything that he's done, and appreciation for Danny Frasina. We did that at PB&J's Lunchbox. We have been the exclusive home of Tay Baker being announced as the women's basketball head coach. We did that on campus at Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse on James Street in Syracuse, New York. We have done the entire inaugural baseball season with the team and head coach Shawn Peake. We have celebrated and done a bus send-off for Nick Dimitrievsky and Alex Grigorita going to the national championships. We have made, in just a little bit over a year, we've made history upon history upon history, and on history on history on history on history, and so forth and so on. And I want to thank Brian and Stratton Syracuse for trusting me with their story and telling it. You can check out our Bobcat specials by going to the BSC Syracuse tab on wakeupcalldt.com, and of course by subscribing to the YouTube channel on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Let's go Bobcats. The Bobcat Nation is strong, and for more information you go to the syracuse.bscbobcats.com page. So with that being said, I want to thank you for tuning into today's show. Once again, The Annoying Moment of the Week from Carvel DeWitt. Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver from Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. Top Dog of the Week from Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. And a very special Bobcat Buzz with the baseball team in their inaugural season, featuring head coach Shawn Peake, as well as Alex Garcia, Maximo Santos, and Evan Reynolds. Find us on Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, the Twitters at Call DT, Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT, and a happy National Dolphin Day to Iggy and all my Dolphins over at Lemoyne. God bless, no stress, do your best.